This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on the show, they may have made 5 live-action features, 1 animated feature, 3 television shows, and LOL, a web series. But everybody knows there can be only one. It's Highlander. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Stephen Shadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
And we hate movies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning into the fine program. As always, this week, that's right. Here it comes, baby. Could have been an L. It's an H. Doesn't matter. It's Highlander from 1986, directed by Russell Mulcahy, director of previous episodes Highlander 2, The Quickening, Ricochet, and The Shadow.
Auteur. That's auteur level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's he gets the card.
This movie especially, this is a big L for me. And by that, I mean love. If you're new to the show, that means I love it. It's not like a
loser.
A loss. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can't say for sure how long the cut you're hearing is going to be, but the original cut was definitely 6 hours. Well, the raw footage of Eric going through the history, his personal history with this film, was 6 hours.
Well, thank you for bringing it up, Chris. Now that I get comfortable in the chair here.
Yeah.
So this is a film that I've seen. I've literally seen this movie more than any other movie.
Wow,
Is that right?
I'm pretty confident in that. Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool.
More than your Star Wars?
Probably, I because my older brother controlled the dial most of it, and honestly, this was on rotation before I was starting to get heavily into Star Wars. I guess the special edition re-releases ramped up that fever, but this movie was dominating my life before that. Yeah,
this laid the groundwork for your love of space swords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta love a real sword. And then you love a space sword, and then sometimes you love a meat sword.
Occasionally.
Somehow this is only my second time watching this straight through last night.
Really?
Wow. I mean, I'm not that far ahead of you. I'd say, Steve, maybe I've seen this movie like 3 to 5 times.
I think it was on HBO or something ad nauseum.
That's what I've seen it. I saw it twice as a kid, and then because I lived with her for so long, just by osmosis, I've seen it 27 times. And then I watched it again last night for the show, of course.
Hey, Chris, you ready for Highlander Wednesdays?
Yeah, of course I am, Eric.
I gotta get a new place. I think I said it on the start of our Highlander 2 episode, but like this was just a franchise that never grabbed me as a youth. Like I feel like I was probably over 30 years old before the first time I saw Highlander.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely saw it by whenever they started broadcasting it, probably. I mean, early 90s for sure. Maybe it was a VHS rental or something. I remember my parents were kind of into it too.
Yeah. Wow, a whole household of Highlander heads, huh?
Yeah, my first moving out of my parents' house roommate just sat me down and we watched this. I was like, 25 when I saw this movie for the first time. So yeah, and then I've seen it again. And I do really like this movie. It's kind of a warts and all love. I think I liked it better this time last night, just because like I knew what it was. Because the first time it was like everybody was like Highlander. Like I'm like, is it a really good movie or is it just sort of like a super fun cheesy movie? And I think it's the latter.
It's both.
Yeah, it's also true.
I think it's kind of both too. This is the most fun I've had watching this movie, and I don't know. I think something is like, it was just so broken inside of me that I was like, I need just 2 hours of people being fucking slain with swords.
Well, we were talking about it last night, and I think about it now, and it's absolutely true. Queen makes this thing work.
Absolutely.
If it had been another like a boring score, like a big like fantasy score or anything, like would not work at all. You need a big cheesy like prog-ish like tint to this.
It hits at all levels, not only music, maybe not necessarily performance, but like the music and the direction, honestly, and the stylizedness of it is very striking.
It is. I mean, there's a lot of like really interesting long shots, like a lot of tracking going on in certain areas, which is really cool. I think my thing is if you gave me like a wish list for this movie, I'd want like 1 or 2 more New York sword fights. You know what I mean? Like just random Highlanders, just kind of like oops-a-doodle Lambert, like less actual stuff in the old country, just him walking to a bar and he's like, oh crap, another Highlander.
Well,
shit.
You're totally right on, dude, because what we're told in this movie is that, like, you know, reach out to the juggalos, man, because the gathering is happening. The gathering is happening in New York City, and the gathering is like when there are just a few Highlanders left roaming the earth, or not Highlanders, but these immortal dudes, right? They're all going to come to the gathering, have a big fucking fight to the death, and the last one standing is the one, right? And like, it would be cool if other people came to town besides Clancy Brown and that one other guy.
Yes.
And then the dude at the beginning in the parking lot, right? Like, it would be cool if, like, yeah, he's just walking down this. Oh no, there's a bunch more immortals waiting outside my art gallery. Better fight them.
Like, yeah, I need a few of them that don't have such cool names. Like one from Jersey who's just named Jed.
That's actually a great point, Chris, because like, you know, Connor MacLeod is born, and the Kurgan and Ramirez obviously have been around for much longer. So are there concurrent births? Is there a baby in New Jersey? Although we do get one mention of a immortal possibly dying in New Jersey. A Polish national got his head cut off.
Oh right.
Yes.
You think there was a baby boom and a Highlander boom? I mean, if there's more births, I mean, like whatever the percentage of Highlanders, and I'm just gonna call them Highlanders. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
Whatever the percentage of Highlanders from the birthing pool. So yeah, like the baby boom, there would be a couple of more Highlanders born in like the 40s and 50s.
Man, fucking boomerlanders, dude. Look out for that shit. You just these entitled, immortal fucking pieces
We
of shit. Are
keep
you
shooting
kidding me?
them, and they keep trying to stop the steal. They keep getting up again.
I would like to think they go searching much like the Dalai Lama. Like they just have this shitty like trench coat and they show it to babies and they're like, where do you know this? Have you been in this before?
Duster.
Oh my God, it's him. This one's name is Jake. Okay.
Jake Highlander, how you doing?
Also, you know, what about some female Highlanders, ladies and
Sure,
gentlemen?
yeah.
I guess the only real one was Isadora Duncan, and then she
dude.
tragically passed.
Yeah, Connor MacLeod showed her a thing or two, huh?
Jane Mansfield was a Highlander too.
Oh my God. Known Highlander Grace Kelly. This is all terrible. I want to say maybe in the television show there's some female immortals running around. Maybe
You would
not.
hope so. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't tune in for the TV show, and honestly, I mean, the movies get progressively worse and incomprehensible. This should have been a one and done, but even that end like source code movie, by the time that was hitting theaters, I was like, I'll catch it on TV. And I think I did at one point, and I was like, I don't understand what's happening.
Have you seen all of the motion pictures? I've only seen 1 through 3. Anything we've done episodes on.
Yeah, unless they've made any secret new ones. Yeah, I've definitely seen them all. Yeah.
I watched the pilot for the television show because Lambert is on it. He just like kind of like creeps out from the shadows in a cameo, and he's like, "All right, Duncan MacLeod, go for it."
I've always been curious, and I've never bitten the bullet on that one.
So the idea is that they're clansmen, right? They're two dudes from the same clan of Clan MacLeod. What are the odds, man? What are the odds?
Two immortals in the same family? It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy, dude. Those guys better buy lotto tickets.
And here is my room of lotto tickets. All my winnings throughout all of time.
That's right. When you're immortal, you have all the time in the world. The odds are in your favor.
Would you like to see a giant publisher's clearing check?
I mean, I just robbed the place, honestly. Because what are they going to do? Shoot me?
I gotta say, this is one of the coolest opening. I mean, like, then that's the thing
Yes.
too. Is like this opening is a movie unto itself, and it's even better than this whole movie. But it rules. It rules the school. I love the black and red. I love red credits on a black background. That's
It
all
looks
I ever
awesome.
want.
Yep.
Yeah. And this crane shot, I guess it is, of the auditorium or wherever wrestlers fight.
Quote unquote Madison Square Garden is what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
So what are we supposed to understand about Connor MacLeod? Like, did he just did he win these tickets from Z100, or like
No,
he really wanted to go?
I think what it is he's like preternaturally attracted to professional wrestling because it reminds him most of like his ogre fucking clans, people beating the shit out of each other.
Makes sense.
I think that's definitely what it is.
Totally makes sense.
Oh, this brings me back to the good old days.
Yeah, the pheromones of this male bashing each other. Is one of them immortal?
It's the good old days, the all or nothing days.
I would wager that he was supposed to meet that guy in the parking garage, right? Like they
but not to evaluate that sword or whatever the cop story is,
just
right?
to fight to the death. That was
We'll watch the Hell in the Cell match, and then afterwards we'll go down to the parking lot and fight to the death.
Okay, here's the move. We meet up at 5, get steaks and drinks. Then we go to the wrestling match. We definitely want to go downtown for the steaks and drinks. Nothing good around Madison Square Garden. Shithole. But go up to Madison Square Garden. Watch a couple of the matches. Then fight to the death. Afterwards, whoever wins gets to have another drink and maybe another steak.
Let me ask you, are you into stogies? Are you a stogie man?
A real dude's night. A dude's night.
I have to tell you, it's, we're now into the second year of this quarantine, technically. Yep. Round of applause, world.
Yeah.
And I just got to tell you, Steve, you describing going getting drinks and some steaks, going to see some fucking wrestling at the Garden, and then minus the fight to the death, maybe we just insert more drinking after that, maybe a drink to the death kind of a thing. Oh, I would like to suggest the four of us do that. Company outing to go be stupid as shit on the town.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, has time become meaningless? But you don't live forever now, do you?
I was going to say, of all that, the thing that really highlighted for me was the fighting to the death. That sounded like the best option that I have at current. Like, I do think you're right, though. Like, he must have been, like, watching this wrestling match and been like, haha, this reminds me of me and my brother getting sweaty and touching each other's dicks and hugging.
Well, also, I just was reminded of, there's definitely in one of the flashbacks, it's when his wife is like, I'm going to go buy a dress. Ha 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 ha. I'm having a great day in the market. There's definitely like fucking wrestling happening.
Yes, there is.
Place. So I think it's like, the old days are back.
I also get the thematic element of like, it's obviously about two titans, bashing each other, and that's how we're being introduced to the movie. It's a cool opening. It's hilarious. It's professional wrestling.
Great opening. Also seeing Connor MacLeod's introduction, his eyes are kind of like highlighted more than the rest of his body, kind of like a film noir lighting technique. Looks a little like Detour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at the diner or whatever, where the guy's eyes are just highlighted. Yeah. And then did you guys spot this fat dude yelling at him like, why don't you join the match?
Well, here's the thing. He's got some shitty tickets for a Highlander, man. You know what I mean? Like, you want to get, he's way back and he's in the fucking, the yelling section.
That's the problem.
Listen. I'm a world famous antiquities dealer. I cannot be photographed in the front row of a wrestling match.
Exactly.
My career would be destroyed.
Not just that, but like, if they knew that I had this predilection for loving wrestling, I'd show up in every fight, every broadcast. They would know I don't age.
Also, up here is where the real sport is. You get the nacho cheese in your hair, and you really smell the sweat.
All right, guys, I think what we're dealing with here is some sort of man who can live forever. I'm going to show you ringside here footage, WrestleMania 1. Yep, you see that weird-looking guy? His eyes are kind of glistening like that. Looks like a film noir. Yeah. All right, now let's cut ahead here. WrestleMania 30. Look at front row there, ringside. There's that same beautiful glow. That man has not aged a day.
And boom, SummerSlam. When Lex Luger goes down, who's there in the corner? Who's there in the corner?
There he is, Mr. French Neanderthal. There he is.
Let me do a quick still by still shot of this mysterious man throwing a Budweiser to Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania 26. Yep, there it is. It comes. Yep, see he pulls the beer from the trench coat, and you can see the hilt of a sword next to the beer.
So, in conclusion, Mr. MacMahon, I think we have some sort of immortal who is a fan of the WWE.
If you think that's the end of it, I've got some news for you, sir. I have documented evidence that he has been to every single Nathan's hot dog eating contest since 1847.
That's right. I enjoyed the struggle between man and hot dog.
Some years, man wins, but other years, hot dog triumphs.
I remember when the world was first plunged into darkness, and it was the hot dogs. They won every year.
I remember the first time that I used water to shove down the hot dogs rather than just eat with the saliva you have.
Joey Chestnut is the world's most famous immortal. That's why his stomach is using the regenerative properties, so he never gets full.
He's the rare Highlander that you have to cut off his stomach rather than your head.
I do love he's kind of in the middle in the beginning of this. There's two businessmen on either side, both going apeshit. They seem like they came together. You think it's one of those things where it's like, oh, do you mind just scooting over one? Me and my buddy couldn't get the same. No.
Yep, guaranteed.
I didn't get to live to be 600 by moving from assigned seats.
Yes, I feel like I've dealt with this Russell Nash at every fucking assigned seat movie theater I've been to.
Without order, there is chaos in the garden. So no, I won't swap seats.
It says 91G. I'm 91G.
Do you have a problem seeing the number on your ticket or no?
He pulls out his sword a little bit. You sure you want to go down this road? 91F? I didn't think so. And I'm going to go get soda. There better not be someone sitting in my assigned seat when I return.
I swear to God, this is my fucking jacket on the back of my fucking seat. And if your fat ass is sitting on my jacket when I return, I'm going to cut your fucking head off.
No, I don't care if you get out before I come back. I have somebody watching this. You do not sit in it once.
Yes, that's right. I had the audacity to publicly ask a stranger to keep an eye on my seat while I get a soda.
Fuck those people. That's what led us down the primrose path to assigned seating.
Yeah, dude, do not ask a stranger to hold your seat. Also, the dudes on either side of him, it's definitely a case of those guys are acting like the wrestling is real.
Yes.
They're so fucking into it. And I think, because like, you can't really hear what they're saying because it's all muffled by more crowd noise, but there's one point where he's like, one of the guys is like, he kind of looks like Captain Lou Albano, and he's like, something, that's what's great about this sport, or something like that, and you're just like, oh man.
Unfortunate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Could you stop? We could stop drooling on me. Thank you.
Unfortunate wrestlers we do focus on, considering they're wearing the stars and bars.
I was going to say, did I spy a Confederate flag on that guy's cape?
And there's also a burning cross. I'll point it out later.
There is. These are the Mighty Mighty Freebirds. These are before my time wrestling. I was 3 at the time this movie came out. So,
they're real?
I think so.
It's fabulous.
Okay. That makes sense.
It's the Fabulous Freebirds.
See, right. This was a time, now, younger listeners, this was a time before every fucking jackanapes fucking wrestler became a celebrity superstar movie guy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Manscaped. Autumn is in the air, all the leaves are brown, and our friends at Manscaped want to make sure your foliage is looking its best, if you know what I'm saying. You do, right? You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're keeping things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th generation performance package. Join the over 2 million men worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code WHM. Here's the thing. I'm a pretty lazy guy in general. I will more often than not just find the quickest and most inefficient way to get something done just to say that I did it. But the one thing you always want to take your time with and use the right tools for is what I'm going to call intimate grooming, folks. You do not want a total botch job down there, believe you me. It is time to bundle up with the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies. First off, the new Performance Package 4.0 includes the new Lawnmower 4.0. If you're going to cozy up this fall, this trimmer is essential. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe TM technology. It also gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave, plus it's waterproof. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ear. This nose and ear hair trimmer uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system to provide proprietary skin-safe TM technology. Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, and then you can give your balls a boost by using the Crop Reviver. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0 to sweeten the autumn bounty: the Manscaped Boxers and a Shed travel bag. Get comfy at home and on the go this season. So, are you ready to take the leap into fall with Manscaped? Of course you are. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code WHM at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code WHM at manscaped.com. Make your balls a priority this fall. Choose Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. Yeah, it's four dudes: Michael Hayes, Buddy Roberts, Terry Gordy, Jimmy Garvin, and somebody named Badstreet.
And
Wait, did you say Barry Gordy?
Terry Gordy.
Oh, Terry, that makes much more sense.
Barry Gordy is in the NHL.
And they are facing off against the Total Tuesday Gons.
Wait, then Steve, what did you say? There's one that only has one name. What was it? Backstreet?
Badstreet.
Oh, Bad Street.
Whoa.
Bad Street Boys?
Wouldn't want to walk down him.
I mean, I know it's the 80s. We should probably not be walking around and flying the stars and bars. Mr. McMahon.
No, definitely not.
Oh, man. The Muppet movie's got some Confederate flags in it, too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I saw that at a drive-in this summer, obviously it's not a new movie, it's an old movie. So I just saw it at the drive-in this summer, and I was like, oh, that's unfortunate.
It's about heritage.
Fozzie, I've been meaning to talk to you about something in your act that came up last night.
What?
Stetler and Waldorf really offended.
Oh, whatever. Those guys have too much influence as it is.
Oh, man. The Confederate States of America. Waka waka.
Oh, man. Hey, so how about this parking garage fight, huh?
Pretty awesome.
Before
nice.
This episode's going to be 4.5 hours long, we should say that Sean Connery, it's Sean Gone month,
Sure.
Yeah.
did the opening scroll from his bathroom. Super important.
Oh, yeah. It's a decent scroll, too. And
It
this
is.
the kind of movie you need a scroll type of thing. It's
Yep.
From the dawn of time, we came moving silently through the centuries, living many secret lives, struggling to reach the time of the gathering, when few who would remain to battle to the last. No one has ever known we were among you until now.
Great opening.
Now, Russell, you split the voiceover booth fee with me. And I do the voiceover from my toilet. I have to do a nightly dump anyway. I just do it while I'm doing it.
struggling to reach the time of the gathering. We're putting some Fago on ice, and we're gonna chill the fuck out.
Yes, Margaret, I'm talking to myself in here. Yes, that's what I'm doing. This is the time immemorial.
Maybe some candies, some drinks,
Snacks.
snacks. That's what it was from The Rock, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I do love also, like, writing teachers will tell you, don't ever start a story with the main character wakes up. I think don't ever start a scroll with from the dawn of time. Every scroll,
Sure.
it's the dawn of time. Like, I get it. We know that the time has dawned. Let's move on.
But
From the afternoon of time.
you got to acknowledge all that. Another thing amazing about this movie is this was just some guy wrote a screenplay.
Yes.
And it's not like a comic book. It's not a other property, but it feels like it could have been.
Absolutely.
It's just, I guess I hadn't really given it any thought, but now that you say that, like, what an incredible thing to learn that this was just like a person came up with this.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking cool. And like, hey man, what's the number to that guy's weed guy?
He directed some stuff too. Let me try to pull up his info here, but I think he wrote it when he was in like UCLA undergrad, I guess. But
Oh wow.
pretty awesome. Gregory Whedon. Oh yeah, he wrote and directed The Prophecy, which makes sense.
Oh, cool.
Because it's cool dudes doing stuff.
That's
And a lot of fake lightning in both movies, actually.
Yeah.
The Prophecy is a movie that you're like, oh, you know what's awesome? The Prophecy. And then you watch, you're like, oh,
Nope.
no, it's
Yep.
not.
Yeah. He also wrote Backdraft, by the way.
Oh,
More cool
interesting.
dudes doing stuff. Also,
Exactly.
speaking of Kurt Russell, had the role of Connor MacLeod, passed, backed out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think good choice.
I think I probably, I mean, like, the thing is, and we can talk about it, it's just Lambert's accent is a bit,
Yeah.
it's not a problem because it's just like, if once you believe it and love it, it's fine. You don't care anymore. But like, it's probably a better movie if somebody could do a Scottish accent.
But the great save is when I know the problem. Maybe don't do as many flashbacks then. But a good save in the writing is the cop being like, "Where are you from, Nash?" Is like, "All over the place."
Yeah, it is kind of a thing where you're supposed to be like, all right, it's hundreds of years. His voice has just been like forced to morph over time. But like when you get back into the Scotland shit, and it's just like, nah, you just always sounded like that, dude. I mean, you got to give him credit. This motherfucker got cast in this movie, and the producers didn't find out until after he was hired that he didn't speak English.
It's great.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fucking great thing right there.
The greatest trick the Lambert ever pulled.
So, Chris, you're really excited we really think that you'd be great for the role of Connor. You're excited about that? Yes. So, you're you definitely know how to speak English, right? Yes.
Yes.
What do you think is going to be most important about visually, showing, how Connor MacLeod is immortal? Eyes.
Yes.
You're and what exactly, like, what's your training? Do you think you need you need sword training? Yes.
Apparently, he's sort of trained with the stunt double that for Darth Vader, which is kind of interesting.
Ooh.
There's my two interests together.
Look, this is the best guy for like moving super awkwardly and blocky. Okay, if you want a guy to be real stiff and hold a sword, we've got your guy.
We were gonna have Queen do the soundtrack. Does that sound good to you? Yes. Well, no, they're too expensive. I think we'll stick with Queen.
Well, we're gonna order a lunch in. Would you like some lunch? Yes. What would you like for lunch? Yes.
Do you have to go to the bathroom? Yes.
Hey, we're going to forever tie your career to these weird fantasy sci-fi movies. Is that okay with you? Yes.
It rules. And I mean, obviously, yes, the parking lot fight is the whole movie. It's dope as hell.
Yeah.
It's just fucking wild. I mean, first of all, this man produces a sword from a raincoat.
It's so cool because again, you're imagining it's in 1986. You're just watching this movie, you know nothing about it. You got a bizarre scroll from Sean Connery wrestling, and now this guy is just going to his car, and a businessman with mirrored glasses pulls out a fucking sword. Holy shit!
It's just insane. It's just insane, and like I you know, it's one of those things where it's impossible for me to know what that was like. You know what I mean? Like, I'm envious of anyone who just is like sat down by a friend and the friend is like, you know what? You have no idea what this is, but just watch it. And to watch that progression of like, all right, let's see. There was a weird scroll at the beginning. Kind of sounded like Sean Connery, maybe. Huh, that's weird. Okay, then there was the professional wrestling. Not sure what that angle is. Hope they come back to that at some point. Oh, and now there's a sword fight in a parking garage. Like, it's just insane. This movie really does go from like 0 to what the fuck in 10 minutes.
And it's two people that you don't necessarily expect to be doing a sword fight. One guy's Christopher Lambert, makes sense enough. The other guy looks like he trades in fake passports in a Michael Mann movie.
And he's in a 3-piece suit too.
It's incredible. I mean, it really is. And like, he holds his own for a little bit here with MacLeod, honestly.
Yes. And also the kinetic filmmaking here of like, at one point, this guy drops his mirrored shades and we see him running away through the reflection in it. They're doing a lot of tricks like that. It's a lot of fun.
And then, I mean, that's the thing is, you know, it's a really cool, you know, somebody breaks the sprinklers. Obviously, now it's kind of like raining inside the fight. Really cool stuff. And then he cuts this dude's head off. You're like, wow, pretty cool. And then all of a sudden he explodes with energy orgasms. I am interested in the rest of your film, sir. This is it.
Yep.
Yes.
Like, that's your fucking, like, whatever, like 10, 15-minute test reel. And then it's like, so folks, do we have a movie? Like, absolutely.
And then, oh man, and like, you're doing this and you're like, oh my God, I can't fucking wait. Let's go. 1593 Scotland. What?
What? And what's awesome about this movie, if you'll notice, they'll pan up, and then when they pick up in the Scotland flashback, it's also panning up, and they also do this from the sides as well.
Yeah.
The camera is kind of always moving, and it's kind of seamlessly bridging these two things.
It's very nice. I love the transitions of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real testament to them because, like, this movie, like, theoretically, like on paper, right, this movie should be incredibly jarring. It goes back and forth between 1980s New York City and 1500s Scotland. And you're just like, you don't even really, I mean, you notice, obviously, but it's not as jarring as you would think it is.
Yeah.
Because I think they actually gave thoughts to how they would produce these transitions and not just like awkwardly cutting back and forth every single time and just putting like 1593 on the screen, you know, whatever.
I will say the one jarring transition is when one of the flashbacks closes on Lambert's face, and then it pretty much transitions into the Mona Lisa as a big advertisement for like the Met or something. Like,
yes, dude. Yeah. And that's a weird, that whole shot composition is weird. It made me think of like Blade Runner for a quick second.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is kind of hilarious. It's like, both of us are beautiful.
What am I smiling about? You'll never know.
I had to take that photo, that painting, to the store to get myself erased out of it.
Yes.
Leonardo da Vinci painted me into the painting.
Yes, I was eating a loaf of bread behind her.
Oh man, he was an extra in the Mona Lisa.
I went to a Kinko's Express in 1658 to remove myself.
How pissed off do you have to be, or how pissed off are you to be literally everyone else at Madison Square Garden when you go to get your fucking car out?
Oh
of the
my
lot?
god!
Oh my
What
God,
the
yeah.
fuck,
Dude,
bro?
like-
'Cause you're driving in from Jersey, obviously, because everyone else
Yep.
will take the train.
Yep.
Come on! You gotta be fucking kidding me! My car's ruined.
Holy fucking shit! I gotta be back to Bayonne in fucking 2 hours. That's not gonna happen now.
Oh man, all the fucking auto shops in Queens are like the managers are crying with joy. Finally, some fucking work around here.
My
Finally!
kids can go to college. It's just every fucking car is decimated. Every piece of glass in that parking garage is shattered. It's exquisite. I love a good quickening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're actually blowing up glass, which is more than a lot of the CGI movies do today, babe.
That's exactly right.
See, you made fun of me. You made fun of me for taking my little Radio 8-track with me out of the car. You made fun of me, but it was the right decision.
Yeah, but Gruber would be fine in this scenario.
Yeah, the car is decimated, but the fucking Creedence tapes are okay. So we get our first flashback to the Clan MacLeod days.
Yeah.
And they're just sort of coming back. It looks like from like some sort of successful battle.
I think they're going off.
Or they're going
off
to war. That's right. And like they're making fun of Lambert or the other guy. Someone's talking about pissing their kilt, and it's like, they're making fun of that dude Angus, who winds up being like the guy who saves him. And
he's like the good cousin or something.
Yeah. Angus pees his kilt all the time.
Angus is the good cousin. Dugan is the bad cousin. And then there's this lady who's like, whatever you do, bring back his cook. Apparently, that's what they transitioned to. He's like, I guess. No, she's just like, bring him back alive. And then Dugan, the bad cousin, is like, oh, yeah, we'll bring back his dick for you. Don't you know that, brother?
Bring him back in one piece. Like, we know what piece that is. Yeah. Hey, here's his severed dick.
No, here, he was killed in battle heroically, but here's his fucking dead cock.
Look, Daisy, his body was dead. He was just decimated, crushed by 3 horses, but we brought the cock back for you. We did it. We brought it back for you.
By the way, I was giving this some thought today. I think this is how you reboot this franchise in some way, television or otherwise. Set it then. You got cock talk. Also, like, young Ramirez or so, what was his adventures?
Right.
Here's the move. You go full remake, and you get Ewan McGregor as the good Highlander, Gerard Butler as the bad Highlander.
Oh, he's like a Kurgan type.
Got it. Then you get Nicholas Winding Refn to direct it, and Lambert as the Ramirez-esque figure. Maybe he's Connor MacLeod. He's probably Connor MacLeod,
that's a
right?
great idea.
Yeah,
that's a great idea. Also, I want my prequel TV show. Just guys in suits of armor is fun.
See, because what you want there. So what you're describing, actually, you're just suits of armor, guys with the toilet talk and whatnot, giving wieners to ladies and stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's just your Game of Thrones right there.
Yes, exactly. But that's kind of, I feel like that ship has sailed. We'll see how this new thing is. I don't know. We'll see. But...
I mean, if it's done by the guy who did John Wick or one of the guys who did John Wick, so if it has that kind of universe, you could eventually have an HBO Max series like The Young Faisal or like Ramirez in his youth.
Yeah. Oh,
Ramirez, the early days in Egypt, dude, because that is a detail in this movie. Sean Connery's like, by the way, I was born 2,000 years ago in ancient Egypt.
I have his birthday written down somewhere.
Oh, whoops. Oh, beautiful cat. I'm going to go pray to it. Be right back.
Ramirez. It's just a silly detail. Sean Connery being Egyptian. Come on, movie.
It is a bit. It's a bit much. I wrote down how old he was at this time. I'm trying to find out my notes. Unfortunately, there's too many.
He's the king of Spain's like special metallurgist, and that really was like the most baller position at the time. Knowing about metals and like jewelry and shit, you were on the fucking easy path.
Okay, I got it. At the time. Okay, so this flashback takes place in 1536, and he says he is 2,437 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means. I mean, he's definitely before Christ.
And my hairpiece is 1,237 years old.
I was the first guy to say, hey, what's that guy talking about? Stop him. It's Jesus. Stop that guy.
When this wig originally retired, it was on Bela Lugosi's first movie.
I kept calling the Roman centurions, and I said, go stop him.
Hey, what's that guy doing over there?
Hey, I don't want to be a tattletale or nothing, but hey, Roman centurions, you might want to go take a look at that Jesus guy. It's me, Ramirez.
He's getting into trouble. He's getting into it.
I don't know. He's rambling. He's getting up the masses. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Let me ask you something. Is there going to be free food at this Last Supper?
Hey, Pharisees, just one question real quick. What then to do about Jesus of Nazareth?
Perhaps if I get him killed, I can eat the whole supper myself.
What did he ask for his last meal? Was it chicken wings?
Now, just to frame this fella named Judas.
You want to know who was making all that fuss down at the temple with those moneylenders, do you?
Oh, it looks like Jesus didn't finish his bread. I could take this for later.
You know, you ought to, Governor, you ought to wash your hands of this. That's the best idea.
Pontius Pilate, good guy, good guy.
But so yeah, he goes off into war, and this is when you do meet the Kurgan for this first time. The great Clancy Brown. Oh,
Yes.
Fuck
He's-
yes.
He is so good in this too.
I feel like if I ever met Clancy Brown, A, I'd be terrified, both from
Yep.
like, is this guy going to cut my head off? And B, holy shit, this is one of my favorite actors ever. I would be like, I couldn't talk to him.
Yeah, no way.
There'd just be so many moments in the conversation where he could have killed me. I mean, he could have killed me as the Kurgan, right? He could have killed me as the fucking stepdad in Pet Sematary 2. He could have killed me as the weird fucking pastor on Carnival.
I'm not sure if I would ever do this with anybody else, but I think I would like instinctually kneel at his feet. Like just like because of the size of him. I'd be like, sir,
Mhm.
sir, you have my sword. And by that I mean whatever pen is in my pocket.
And this introduction with the bone armor is so fucking cool.
It's kind
He
of
looks badass, dude. It's kind of fucking out of like the Mad Max universe. It reminded me a little.
so
Yeah.
what we're to understand is like, he's a good Highlander hunter, so he knows where these guys are, and he just kind of goes around. So he like was like, hey, I'll join you fighting the MacLeods today? Cool. Mind if I join? And they're like, sure, dude, in a skull helmet.
Yeah.
You're on our side though, right? Yeah, uh-huh. Remember our deal. I get the boy, and the boy is Connor MacLeod.
And-
LOL at that.
And
Yeah.
totally. But everyone avoiding him on the battlefield because they're afraid of the Kurgan is pretty cool.
That is fucking hilarious because the Kurgan's like, Clancy Brown's like, nobody gets him, he's mine, the boy. And then like, it's Lambert like trying to fight people and everybody running away. And there's definitely a moment where he comes off as like the little kid on the playground
Yes.
because he's like, hey, no one will fight me. Why won't anyone fight me? Everyone's running away.
Please, somebody pick me for dodgeball.
That's exactly what it feels like. Hey, come fight me. Why are you running?
I can't even play tag in this town.
No fair, flat lever. You are a flat lever.
Red Rover, let someone who wants to kill me come over.
This like the like I don't know the other footage of the battle, just like some dudes getting drowned in mud. Absolutely,
The
This-
puddle death.
The puddle
Love
death
it.
is horrible. This other guy gets stabbed by a priest, which rules.
Dude, I love when the clergy gets in on it with
Mhm.
this shit. I'm here.
Well, here's my question: is the Kurgan kind of fucking the Murdoch clan? Because it seems like they get washed, really.
Yeah,
Like at the end of it, like most of it seems like a lot of the Clan MacLeod, other than fucking Connor, comes back.
Yeah. Well, this is sort of like when he's later in the film, like getting into auto accidents. He doesn't care about the plight of mortals or their life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Clan Murdoch really got the fucking raw deal on this one. I think the guy that was trying to hire him was just like, why won't you help me? I just want the boy.
They use that resentment to make a news empire.
that's where it started, man.
Yep.
Only
Hurt
one
people.
survived.
Sadly, yeah, the MacLeod should have done a better fucking job, dude. We would have been a better place.
Absolutely. And I encourage anyone listening in the past to make what once went wrong right.
Yes, only one Murdoch survived, Albatross Murdoch, and he himself will carry on the name.
I've got some weird ideas about the word news. What the definition of that is.
My clan was slaughtered. Better go to Australia and figure that shit out.
All right, the news ain't going to be any classer here. It's going to be very far from the truth. It's going to be it's not going to be any class to the truth.
And it's going to be closet to marketing, closet to public relations, really.
Class of racism.
I do love. He is doing. I mean, like to his credit, Lambert doesn't know a word of English and is doing a Scottish accent through this thing, like because he does drop it when he's like Russell Nash, but at the first, like, what are you doing? You are a haggis. You are a haggis.
It's so fucking wild that he's supposed to be the Scottish one and Sean Connery is right there.
It's just he must have been like, now wait a second. Who's the Scotsman? You're telling wait now. You're telling me I'm from ancient Egypt and that caveman is from Scotland.
But this is what makes it work in a way. It's almost like the producers or something. Like we're doing everything wrong and somehow it fucking lands hard.
Now, Russ, how much are you paying that boy, that Neanderthal that's fighting me? How about you split his and I do all the voiceover work for him so a real Scotsman can be heard?
It is kind of amazing. I don't know how apocryphal this is, but they wanted one of the many people they were thinking about for MacLeod was Connery, and he got the script. He's like, hey, how about you get that's like a lot of pages for this MacLeod character. Not so many on the Ramirez. I'll be Ramirez, but $1 million will do. Because he did this in a week, by the way.
A week, yeah.
Oh, man,
you'll get me for $1 million in a week.
$1 million in a week.
If he was nothing, he was a fucking, crafty businessman, dude. What a scam. Him and Brando.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to have to retire someday. Okay, I've got a week to do it.
Oh, that's a lot. Oh, a lot of lines for this MacLeod. Ramirez gets his head cut off in Act 1, huh? Sounds like a good role for me.
He does have like 20 times the amount of dialogue that Lambert does, though,
yes,
which
it's
is
true.
kind of funny. I love, though, that like I'm thinking back to the hilarious bit of trivia about him turning down the Matrix because he didn't understand the movie and being Morpheus or whatever. And looking back now, I'm like, motherfucker, you were in 2 Highlander movies and Zardoz, and you couldn't wrap your brain around the Matrix, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, this is the beginning of like the rest of his career, which, you know what I mean, is almost mostly hits at that point. You know what I mean? After this, Name of the Rose, Untouchables, Indiana Jones, and on and on.
Mhm.
Presidio.
Yeah, and I guess like Indiana Jones and stuff, he's playing second fiddle, but like he was just like an icon, like beyond movie star in a way.
Yes, it was just plug and play. He could just sit in.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're paying for presence. That's the number one name of the game. I don't know what else you say you're doing with entrapment.
No, that's true. But I was gonna say, and what year was Red October?
That's, I think, 89 or 90.
That sounds right.
Oh, wow,
90, I
okay.
think.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel that's my like starting point for like the Connery that I kind of grew up with. All those movies in the 90s that he was doing, vaguely actiony, obviously like The Rock and shit like that. That's just I always think of him, like when I think of his face, like I think of that era before I even think of like James Bond.
Well, Indiana Jones and The Rock in a way, like he's kind of a parody of himself.
Yeah,
That's true.
And this is only 3 years after Never Say Never Again, so his career wasn't necessarily in the toilet, but it was around the toilet. You know what I mean?
I mean, listen, dude, like looking back now all these years later, like, yeah, I think this is a great movie, but at the time you're doing Highlander, yeah, your career's in the fucking toilet, dude. You're James Bond. You're James fucking Bond, and you're doing Highlander, you're playing Ramirez. Yeah, you're in the
guy who
toilet.
doesn't know English.
I mean, yeah.
Great, I'll teach it. But apparently they were fast and good friends, Connery and Lambert. They're
That
good
rules,
buds.
man.
Yeah,
I would love to be at that fucking drunken brunch.
Drunken fist fighty brunch. Yeah.
So he gets stabbed by the Kurgan. The Kurgan gets tackled by everybody. And there's a great Clancy Brown line. He's like, "I'll get you next." He's like, "I'll meet you next time, MacLeod. This ain't over with." Kind of.
Yes, dude, it is fucking professional wrestling
is,
talk.
yeah.
It makes total sense why he's at the Garden that
I'll
night.
see you at SummerSlam, MacLeod.
I'm gonna put you in a fucking coffin, man. That's right, MacLeod. It's a coffin match.
So in the present day, he's nabbed by the cops.
The cop subplot kind of meanders and absolutely disappears, which is
It
you
just,
know.
I don't need an investigation into this
Yes.
guy. Like,
No.
sorry, John Polito or whatever your name was. John or Joe? I always mix it up. John Polito, and then this other fucking old guy who kind of reminded me of Harry, what's his face, the character on Empty Nest.
I forget what his name is, but the only thing I know him from is he gets fucking killed brutally at the beginning of Lunka's Goodnight. He gets launched from a car that gets in an accident, and he just gets thrown. This old man just gets fucking. It's amazing.
Right.
I love
Alan North, I guess he was in Glory, Lean on Me as the mayor, See No Evil.
He's in the police squad. He was like one of the detectives. He's really funny on that.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
he's played like silly cops and dumb cops.
I definitely recognize his face more. Like he's been around. Yeah.
Yes.
You would have he's in Serbica. Yeah.
He gets arrested by this one beat cop. NYPD they're being a little rough to a white guy here. I thought.
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe it. Well, you know why though, Steve? They're presuming he's a homosexual.
That
makes sense.
Yeah.
This is the part of the movie where one, you're just like, all right, beat cop, like you made this arrest, but like get out of this interrogation room. It's fucking crazy to me that this guy is in this room, but it's only really to fucking use gay slurs against Christopher Lambert.
I love Christopher Lambert's line in this scene because they had a theory that like he went down there and like he was going to buy this sword because he's an antiquities dealer, and then like the deal went south, so he cut this guy's head off. He's
Right.
like, I have a theory. Maybe he saw such a lousy wrestling tonight that in a fit of depression, he came down to the garage and cut his own head off.
Man, the wrestling sure was lousy tonight, wasn't it? Bad
Wow,
match. Bad match.
The wrestling is usually of such higher quality.
I'm just so sick of this Freebird storyline. Break up already. We know it's happening. We know it's going to happen.
Not all of you can be cool with the use of the Confederate flag.
It's just so repetitive, isn't it?
You know, they're really dragging this out for WrestleMania. I know. I get sick of this shit sometimes.
I mean, I paid money to come see this. That's all I'm saying. I paid hard-earned money to come see this.
And that will be the last time, because now I'm going to go to backyard wrestling where the real stuff is.
Oh, they're not even being played out to the real Leonard Skinner song. It's a cover band. Jesus Christ.
Hey, look, it's a fat high schooler being hit with a chair. I love backyard wrestling.
Yes, this reminds me of the old days. Of the Scottish Moors. 16-year-olds hitting each other with sharp sticks.
Look at that little dweeb doing backyard wrestling. He has his dad's baseball bat and some of his dad's nails in it.
Yes, just like in the Highlands, sometimes people get killed here. It's beautiful. It's wonderful and beautiful.
But yeah, we do get an F-bomb from this beat cop, and blah blah blah.
Because he like accuses, because they're like, "What are you doing in that parking garage?" And he uses a slur, and Lambert's like,
Why, Garfield? You looking for a piece of ass?
and then the guy freaks out and just goes, "You went down to the garage for a blowjob."
I love the
You're
idea.
like, this is Highlander.
They okay, so this guy in a 3-piece suit is also like an arts dealer, maybe, or whatever. Went down, he was going to suck your dick for money, and you didn't
For
want
this
to pay.
fucking Toledo Salamanca broadsword. That was the exchange. according to
Yeah,
this
yeah.
cop.
$1 billion sword. I guess people would suck dick for that.
Oh, 100%.
I do love, so he's going to do that, but then he decides to turn tail on his prostitute there and cut his head off in the middle of a fucking parking garage and explode a bunch of cars. That makes sense.
Yes. And somehow set off the sprinklers. Yeah, it was a real fucking rockin' beach, dude.
That fucking orgasm, man. Yeah. Like, instead of the quickening, it would be like what? No, I don't know.
Look, you don't always have to take their heads off. If one Highlander makes another Highlander come, that also triggers a quickening. I don't know how.
When I ejaculate, it's lightning.
He does the things like, am I under arrest or what?
Yep.
And also, like, dude, I don't know. I know that you're being drawn to the gathering, but I'd be like, time to get back to Scotland, getting a little hot in the big city.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It is time to fucking 86 Russell Nash and its new identity season, baby.
Absolutely. Go literally anywhere.
Well, yeah, he definitely has some real estate holdings in Scotland. This many years, he has to learn something.
Yes, but I can't move over there permanently because I have to get my fix of live professional wrestling.
I also love the idea of like,
I'm just going to go over into Scotland and wait until everyone dies of old age and then come back.
Hopefully they still have wrestling in another 50 years.
You know how sometimes they actually have to burn down forests for them to reseed? That's what I'm doing with the human race.
We also have Roxanne Hart here, who's a CSI / sword expert. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Hey, yeah, everybody's got different specialties, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of weird.
well, I mean, maybe that's like I went to college for something and now I work at the
Oh,
NYPD.
yeah.
Yeah, the job market for like metallurgists in the 80s might have not been great.
So she's like on the case. She like, first of all, these swords apparently are just like leaving chips inside of walls and stuff, man.
Which is crazy. Like
these would not pass the strength test on Fortune Fire, man.
Yeah, thank you, because it doesn't make like what there are pieces missing out of this katana, and now like is he going to reforge it? Is he going to repair it?
Exactly. It doesn't look like it has any chips. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's been damaged at all, but there's fragments of metal. I guess they can't show like microscopic or not microscopic, but you know what I mean, like slivers.
Yeah.
So they just show like these big fucking like double-decker staples. Yeah.
Mr. MacLeod, your tang is a little off here. Shut up, you nerd.
I owned the sword 10,000 years before you.
Fix it or shut your mouth, you piece of shit.
Okay, Connor MacLeod, your katana here will go in the Doug's kill test to behead Clancy Brown. Clancy, you ready? Absolutely.
I don't know, Greg. I think his tang looks a little bit off, don't you?
I do like how he has to, the Kurgan has to put his sword together like it's like a sniper rifle from hell.
It's so cool.
Dude, yep. I was like, what fucking bell tower are you atop, Clancy Brown? What are you doing right here?
First of all, the Kurgan, which I love this character detail, I realized this last night, was like, he was waiting his entire life for heavy metal to be born, like hundreds of years waiting for heavy metal. And he's like, yes, oh my God, these guys are, oh my God, I've been waiting hundreds of years for this.
It's so funny because it's like all the metal covers of albums have people like him on it in the bone armor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what they would have liked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is so great. It's finally me seeing myself on screen. This is amazing.
You know,
this is amazing.
You know, I've never been this inspired. I'm gonna go kill another panther and take its bones and make a skeleton hat over on my head for it. I've been using this old one for so many years now, and finally, this is beautiful.
How many people do you think the Kurgan killed the night Jethro Tull beat Metallica at the Grammys? Like a lot, right?
Oh my God, dude! I think if you looked at the date of when that Grammy ceremony was, and then it was like the same night as some fucking mass murder in Idaho. That's what Kurgan was at the time.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
He's going to ride the lightning.
This is fucking ridiculous. They use a flute. There's a goddamn flute on that album.
There's a
Isn't anybody else outraged? Don't you want to go cut some heads off?
Jesus Christ, Kurgan, why did you behead 20 men? Well, they were talking a little shit about David Mustaine, and I can't be having that. I can't be having that. I'm sorry.
He let them off easy. I love the detail. Ramirez says in one of these flashbacks that he's from the steppes of Russia and from an area where they would take children and throw them into pits with
fun.
Yeah, with hungry dogs, and they would eat. They would like fight over the meat of the children.
Immortal race of super beings. Of course, the Russian one has to be the evil one. Of course,
Of course. It's the the whole Eastern Horde, which I think is how. A lot of people view our podcast, this Eastern European horde washed up on New York and are now podcasting. We're the Kurgan of podcasters.
We are a bit.
I am wearing my bone helmet.
Dude, we all have to sit on each other's shoulders to be even anywhere near as intimidating as Clancy Brown. But I'll try it.
We'll do it.
We don't all show it, but and Eric takes the brunt of it, but we all actually have Z's in our last name.
I do love. He does have a very. The Kurgan's got a very Terminator-esque, Terminator-esque like living situation. He's going to a flop house.
It's great. I was getting some basket case vibes because it's a sleaze bag New York City hotel.
I love it.
Man.
There's even a guy that's like trying to talk to him, and the guy, don't talk to the customers. Like this old dude that's hanging out drinking in the fucking lobby of this hotel.
That's like when I find myself in one of them lobbies with a bottle of hooch and I have like some sort of rapport with the scumbag counter attendant, like find me in that flop house and put a bullet in my head.
Well, that used to be a perfectly acceptable way to die, is to fucking abandon your life, hang out drinking quietly in a shitty motel lobby until it's time to go up to your shitty room, and finally one day you die because your liver says goodbye, everybody.
You drink yourself to death in like a $16 a week flop house.
Yeah.
Yep.
Used to be perfectly fine to do that.
Why not?
Like the goal is you become the guy in the Blues Brothers who yells at Dan Aykroyd, "You got my cheese whiz, boy."
Yes, because then you're part of the community, right?
You know what? And that's the thing is, fucking America ruined it with credit cards because now you have to even to get into a flop house, you got to have a valid card, man. Like, no, I've got 16 singles right here. That's how I'm spending.
Yeah, maybe I don't want the government to track me at every moment.
I've got 16 singles and one pair of underwear. Let me into this fucking hotel.
No, this is not beer. This is not alcohol, sir. This is hooch. And you will let me drink it.
So after he like watches Brenda take those sword fragments out of the wall, like he follows her to a bar, which is hysterical. This fucking creep. Like she kind of thinks that she hears someone, she does a whole like, "Hey, who are you?" or whatever,
and
but then
she
like
chases it, which is ridiculous.
Totally, right? Someone's spying on me in a parking garage, better chase him. But they wind up downtown, just actually I have to say geographically accurate to Madison Square Garden. They're just a little bit downtown at McManus, big old New York improv scene bar.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice it.
Oh yeah, dude! It's up front and center in this. It's pretty great.
I believe they're hanging on by a thread. I hope they do survive because it's a fun little bar for that, especially for that fucking neighborhood. And great hamburgers if you're ever in town.
Solid
hamburger,
solid hamburgers. It's true though, the food is good. And so,
and when you're in New York, come on down to Peter McManus and have a New York hamburger.
Or order the Highlander. It's a haggis burger with extra cheese
and a huge glass filled to the top with whiskey.
Dude, I would order the Highlander at least once.
Totally. Well, because like that's what's going on here. Because Brenda, apparently a regular at McManus, she's very friendly with the bartender. Because the guy's just like, "Say when," and she just gets this huge glass of booze poured for her. It's pretty awesome. And he's like just like kind of creeping also in the bar, and he's like, "Madison Square Garden. Do you go there often?" And she's like, "What?"
Sorry to bother you. I just came here after my set with my improv team. Good job, guys. Good job. We had an amazing. Oh, you're walking away because you're a woman and I'm talking about improv. Got it.
Yeah. I think Richard Lewis was in the audience tonight.
I cannot imagine Richard Lewis sanctioning long form improv.
Will you let me smoke? Will you let me smoke in the audience? Can I do that? Well then, yeah. I'll sit for it.
We're just going to need a one-word suggestion from the audience. Oh,
I heard sword.
Literally what I was going to say, but
Really?
yeah.
Because there was, you know what? It's true though. There always was the older guy in your or older woman in your improv class, and just like, oh wow, that person's still getting out there. You know, he's 600 years old, so he's I just wanted to meet some new people.
Oh, did I hear D-Day? Okay.
I apologize to the rest of my team. All of my pop and historical references are so old.
Hey, Russell. Oh, God, you're so funny and your monologues are amazing. I don't even know where you get your ideas, but you always end your scenes by beheading people. And it's just really not cool, especially in a mono scene. Like that guy can't come back.
Yeah,
really.
Russell, we just run around the stage to end the scene, just so you know.
Well, like I don't know what you want me to do when you say the quickening is happening. Am I supposed to move around or something?
I see a neck and I and it. I don't know what to say.
Russell, another great set tonight. You were really getting out there, really putting yourself on the line. I have to say, though, your object work appears to be nothing but you're always holding a sword. And so you can see that was problematic in the scene where we were a family of 4 in a small car and you were supposed to be driving, but you just sat in the folding chair and pretended to hold a sword.
I mean, Russell, that was a hell of a solo set, but do you have to end every solo set the same way, shooting yourself in the head and then saying, see, nothing?
You know what? I don't even need them. I could just hold my sword on the subway, and that's improv everywhere.
I am not wearing pants, but I am carrying a sword.
Isn't that nutty? You could talk about it. That's crazy, right?
I gave Del Close the idea for the Herald.
Okay, it's showtime, everybody. Clear an area for our dancer. Clear the area. Here's a boombox.
Oh, yes.
Oh man, so yeah, she's rightfully creeped out by this robot, and so like he runs after her outside, and then surprise, fucking Clancy Brown attack! Look out below.
She gets the score pretty quickly because I don't know. I mean, obviously Clancy Brown has to be the villain because he's 17 feet tall and he's dressed in all black leather and like is laughing while he's trying to kill this guy.
Right.
But she gives him a pipe and saves his life. He was about to get fucking quickened, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. It is kind of great though, because while he does have his own pipe at one point, he's being beaten with a pipe mercilessly earlier in the fight, and it is kind of hilarious.
And we get a police helicopter, which is just one of many copter shots in this film. It's gorgeous.
Dude, did everybody get the fucking chuckle at this copter pilot though?
No.
Because like the guy rolls up and it's like an NYPD copter. They got the spotlight on Christopher Lambert and Clancy Brown fighting each other, and the guy's like, hey, get, and then they like kind of run, and he's like, hey, get back here, hey, come back here, and like this cop just hilariously sounds so defeated. It's the funniest fucking thing.
Well, I can't really. Oh, you're going to an alleyway. The one thing that I can't do.
Oh, we can't fly down there.
Honey, I lost a guy today. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I never lost a guy before, Charlotte.
Oh man, that guy cuts his own head off in a fit of depression.
It's so yeah, and then she's like, they don't hook up here, right? He just kind of is like, thanks for the save, goodbye.
Pretty much, yeah. I think he tells her like it's one of those like, you don't know what you're getting into.
That's right.
Get the fuck out of here.
And he goes home, and the thing that I stuns me about this movie, because he hasn't gone home yet, really, as a character. He goes home, he takes off this really cool trench coat that he's wearing the whole movie, and he's had a leather jacket on underneath all the time. Like,
Yep.
how are you moving your arms in a sword fight with a leather jacket with a coat on top of it? You're getting your head cut right off, dude.
Look,
right off.
some people like the Steve Bannon wardrobe. You know, several coats and shirts on top of several coats and shirts.
Oh yeah, I trained Steve Bannon.
I don't know. It was really sweltering hot at Madison Square Garden. Could have been the 4 coats I was wearing. But I believe they need to put up the AC.
Well, you know what it is, though, Steve, right? It's like, I'm going to the premier wrestling event at the world's greatest arena. I have to look great. I'm going to wear my cool, hip new leather jacket. Uh-oh, what's that? Rain. Oh.
And like he doesn't want the leather jacket to get wet, so thus the raincoat duster on top of it, so he can still go out, use public transportation to get to the arena, and then look fucking cool. While
You got to put it inside out, Jerry Seinfeld. That's what you got to do.
Dude, he is kind of dressed like Jerry Seinfeld through all of the present day material. We are talking tucked in t-shirts into bad looking jeans, the sneakers. It's kind of great.
It is kind of great. Like, it's kind of great.
I mean, even the Nazi regalia is a bit of like
Excuse me?
almost pirate shirt-esque when he shoots the Nazi, when we have the little Nazi interlude.
All right. Well, he wouldn't be wearing Nazi regalia in that. Yeah.
Well, his regalia in the Nazi era, then, Eric.
Right. Now, okay, then since we're talking about the Nazi scene, this was something that was cut out of the movie for years and years and years.
I see why. It makes no sense.
Well,
But of course it does.
Look, you don't know he's a good guy. He has to kill a Nazi. Okay? Wait, look, we just got to make sure everybody knows he's a good guy, so he's got to kill a Nazi.
That's not what it is.
That the girl is now the woman that's running his business.
Yes, that's what I've been trying to say.
That is a huge plot point. You're right. That matters a lot to the movie.
Why does everything has to be a fucking plot point, Chris Cabin? It's a fucking 2-second scene of fucking movie.
I'm arguing with you, Chris, but I agree that the movie kind of plays better for me without it, because it's like, first of all, it makes it a little faster runtime.
Yes.
But it might be just like another piece of cheese too much on the Highlander sandwich.
Well, I kind of agree with you, Eric. It's one of those things where it's like, all right, we're either doing Connor MacLeod throughout time or we're not. And just one Nazi scene here and a weird Fey duel we get later as well. It's not really adding a lot to like, this guy has lived a really long life kind of a thing. It's
kind of not enough. Like, if you're going to do that, you got to do it more. And
exactly.
Like, I actually think that this franchise would be great with just one and done. Like, don't make sequels.
Yeah.
But at least in the third movie, we lean into like the French Revolution, and we get more of that. And it's kind of more interesting to see that shit when swords mattered.
I just don't need him being the full Wolverine, and he was at every conflict, every major conflict that ever happened in the history of time.
Hey, Kurgan, let's go back to back and get them.
Did you fight with the South, Kurgan?
It's at least not like he's like that fucking Wolverine movie, and it's like, and then I assassinated Hitler. Like, he's just there, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's great. I fucking love it. It's a fucking hilarious line that he says to the Nazi.
I assassinated Hitler a little too late. I did it in the bunker at the very end. No one knows.
But I will say, I will disagree with you, Eric. I like I guess this is just an aesthetics thing, but I prefer Highlander. Like, the fact that two dudes in like bad jeans and like whatever in front of Madison Square Garden are fighting with swords, I think is more cool than when everyone's got swords. Because like, whoa,
Thank
swords!
You. Yes, it's way fucking better, dude. A huge sword fight in a metropolitan area where there are never sword fights normally.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No,
when I'm in like Scotland and that's I guess also why I like those other cutaways, because like I'm not just looking at fucking hills in flashbacks. Like, I just appreciated going other places, and it's just enough where it's like I understand either way that he's been alive for 400 years, but like the fact that it dips in a little bit, I'm okay with. Like, it doesn't have to go full fucking interview with the vampire, us through the ages shit. You know.
What I'm saying is, if he decapitated the Nazi, maybe I'm okay. But he Rick Daltons him. He just blows him away.
Unless the Nazi was a fucking Highlander himself,
Why would he get decapitated?
Oh, just willy-nilly. Just decapitate people. That's what your business is.
I
I
get
think-
so bored with nothing but decapitations.
My major problem with this scene is I've seen the movie like probably 200 times. And I've seen it mostly the American theatrical version, which was initially broadcasted on television. And now the only source that's available is the international / director's cut or whatever they're calling it. And it just jars me because I'm like, I know this movie beat for beat.
Yeah,
what?
right.
A new scene? That's kind of where I'm coming
Yeah.
from with it. I think it's, I mean, his retort is like, oh, yeah, the master race. We're getting into like Last Action Hero, maybe.
It is. He's like,
Yeah.
he calls him Jack, which is like at least 30 years too early. But you
You should call him Jerry, which is what they called fucking Germans in the war.
Look, if I get a Christopher Lambert, hey Claudius, then I'll be very happy. If I could get something like that going, I'd be very happy. But that's not happening.
something is rotten in Denmark.
Hey, Claudius, you rat fuck.
It's using totally anachronistic language. I'd love that.
So, in the Highlands, blah blah blah. Connor gets ousted by his clan because they're like, he's a witch.
He's in concert with the devil.
And the
and-
lady is the one that's the most extremely against him.
Yeah, I mean, she was down for that D unless that D is possessed by the other D, the big D devil.
Fucking devil dick, dude.
Oh, man, whip out the double D.
You'll never survive the devil dick.
Oh, definitely not, dude. I think that's what they called the dildo in 7.
This summer, Christopher Lee is back as Devil Dick.
Get circumcised this summer, 1976.
Exactly.
Yes, you know, over the years playing Dracula, my role in Lord of the Rings, etc., I always go back to playing the prestigious role of Devil Dick. You know, I've played Dracula like 7 times, but I would have played Devil Dick 70 times.
And yes, before you guess, yes, I was in a big prosthesis walking around like Eddie Murphy as Gumby, but as a big red penis.
The only Devil Dick with the only XXX feature I was ever in. I know it sounds weird, but actually true.
Peter Cushing was in that one, right?
Oh, yeah, yes, he played the guy. We must find the Devil Dick and cut it off.
It is I, Father Johnson.
Yes, Father Johnson, excellent.
You may fuck when ready.
But so he gets ousted and he settles down with another lass in a different part of the Highlands. Heather. I wonder how far it is. It's like, hey, Heather, don't go 2 towns over. Bunch of assholes. They don't know anything. They're going to tell you a bunch of stories about me. Totally fake. They're going to say I was dead or something. Total bullshit. Also, I never dated anyone named Renee. Don't ask about Renee.
I know that you really love 2 towns over's farmer's market, but you just have to pretend it went out of business, baby.
Now, Heather, if you ever hear from a man named Dugan, he is not related to me. He's a crazy man who roams the streets saying I'm his cousin.
Oh, you thought my name was MacLeod since you... No, it's been MacLeod this entire time.
You've misheard me. Mick Loud. Because I'm such a yeller.
Yeah, I love this fucking this like individual castle tower he has. I'm like, did
Yes.
he build this? Is it 1600s now?
No, I think it's like a
Oh, look, the family died in here.
Yeah.
They died. They fell apart when my sword went through them. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what this castle like. What is? Are you supposed to just have dinner in it? Like what's going on? It looks like it's a
crypt.
staircase, a staircase to nothing in it.
It's a dinner and a show.
So we're doing some fucking in a field because we love each other so much.
Dude,
And
good
here
old-fashioned
comes
field fuck.
Ramirez. I'm sorry?
I just had a good old fashioned field fuck, Steve. That's all.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oof, nice roll in the field.
Dude, but yeah, here we go.
Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez.
And before you ask, yes, I was watching you have sex before I decided to make my presence known.
I've been here for 20 minutes. Your cock is exquisite.
And yes, before you ask, I can go through that name one more time for you. That's Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez. It's actually 4 parts. It sounds like 5, but it's 4 parts.
I love the whole peacock feather cape he's got
it's so
going.
good.
Dude, this outfit of his is the fucking dopest shit, man. I mean, because that's what's so awesome about Highlander is that take any part of this movie, not any part, but a lot of parts of this movie, leave them on their own, just think about them on their own. It's some of the dumbest shit you'll ever see in your life. But for whatever reason, when it's all combined together in this movie Highlander, a costume like Sean Connery's in this movie looks so awesome.
Yeah.
I would suggest to you that you could walk into anywhere with a peacock cape and people will listen to you. They might think you're crazy, but they are going to listen to you for sure. You can command it. Go into court. Go into court like you got a speeding ticket and just go in there with a fucking peacock cape on. Trust me, the judge won't know what to do.
In your mind, you think you look like Sean Connery, but you look like Homer Simpson in the Moo Moo.
Oh
Yes, exactly. I don't think you're gonna look quite as sharp as a 1986 Sean Connery, Chris. I'm just gonna guess.
Look, I'm not saying you're going to be the handsome Miss Bell at the ball there. I'm saying you're going to get some attention.
And this especially like this curated facial hair he's got.
It's cool. It's a good look, and the piece is working for him. I mean, it's a piece, but it's working.
I'll take a piece of that action.
Is the facial hair also a piece?
I think he could grow it.
I don't know.
So he explains Highlanderism, which is fun.
You've been inflicted with a terrible disease.
Maybe you weren't paying attention during my toilet rant at the beginning. Here it is again.
Looks like your mother was smoking too many swords during pregnancy.
Oh, wait, now that sounds sexual.
Too bad your mother was laying with the devil's dick, and now you're a Highlander.
Does the name Christopher Lee ring a bell?
You know, the crossover in the legend of Highlander and Devil Dick made me think that there'd be some renewed interest in the Devil Dick franchise, but unfortunately, I never played Devil Dick again.
Yeah, you'll notice there is a reference, of course, to Devil Dick in the Highlander film. At one point, you can see that Christopher Lambert, the star of the film, has a hard-on. And I thought that was really a wonderful little homage to our film.
Yeah, that's an Easter egg.
Wait, is he flashing some wood in this movie?
I'm just making a joke.
Damn, got me all ready to fucking rewind.
You might be able to. Who knows?
If you watch this movie enough, you'll eventually, your mind's eye will present you Christopher Lambert's dick.
Yeah, you'll get a bulge. Some visual trickery will bring a bulge to your eye.
Wait a minute. Visual trickery? I'm the real deal.
So yeah, he sort of, just like Steve said, trains him in Highlander ways and in better sword fighting, I guess, because that is the other thing.
Yes.
He is stabbed immediately on the battlefield. This guy doesn't know his fucking sword from his ass, man.
And these drunken Scots are like, "Oh, go, MacLeod, here's your sword, you'll do fine." And then the fucking Kurgan just ganks him immediately. Hey, what is this thing? Which end do I hit with?
Am I supposed to throw it at him?
Am I supposed to be bleeding and hurting when I hold it? I'm holding the sharp end.
Oh, wait, where do I plug this in?
Where do I load the sword? I don't. The death has to be loaded into the sword, right?
The training is cool, and it gives us time for buddy shit.
It is. I mean, and this is the thing. I understand it's cool to cut people's heads off, and yes, it makes you more powerful. Quickenings are fun. I'd be looking for more and more Highlander buddies. I'd be, looking around. I'd be like, "Hey, man, oh, cool." I would, use my Highlander sets and be like, "Yo, dude, you want to go get a drink?" Awesome. What have you been up to? What's
Well,
your journey
it
like?
seems like he's got that relationship with that dude Castigar.
Yeah, totally. Like he's got some buddies, and I think that's obviously that's one of the many problems with our friend Kurgan. He just needs to open himself up to male friendships, dude.
I agree with that. Yeah, man, that dude is like going his own path, and it's fucking dark and dangerous, dude. You folks out there, you need a dude support system.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it. I invite everyone over to my apartment. We're supposed to watch heavy metal, and then nobody shows up. Next thing I know, the crudité's spoiled.
No, I think it's over with. I tried to get them to go to a Motorhead show with me, and they said no dice.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to kill everyone then.
Yep. I'm gonna rule over this land, and I guess Lemmy will be my subordinate.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, you do get I do like the buddy stuff here in the training where like,
Yeah, you're gonna have to balance on this boat now. You better not fall in the water. What's that he say? Oh, you can't swim, boy.
or just like him.
Oh no, stop it. I'm going to fall. I told you already, you Spanish peacock. I can't swim.
I love when he falls. He goes, help, help, and he goes to the bottom, and he learns he can not breathe underwater. I don't know how this works, but he's surviving underwater. Yes, he does laugh underwater.
Dude, it is
So
insane.
good.
And he's also like, I don't know, it's definitely supposed to be he's talking out loud because they make it sound all like bubbly.
Yeah,
But he's just like,
I'm breathing down here. Oh, I'm not drowning.
it's just fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous. And he's like sitting there on a rock, just underwater laughing. He's like doing some sword play down
Yeah,
there.
he's like cutting seaweed and shit.
Oh, of course you can breathe underwater. You're just going to eat the bubbles and avoid the squids when they try to bounce up and down, but you must make sure to eat the bubbles.
Also, when you hear the noise that goes, it means you're running out of air. Better find an air bubble, Sonic.
Oh my god! Wow. Now that's a Sonic reference. I almost thought it was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game reference. Remember
I
that?
thought we were talking Super Mario
I was
64.
doing Mario because of the
Oh,
squids.
right. Yes, that's right. The bubble
Okay.
also, yes.
But remember that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game where it was impossible to get past the
Yes,
the-
that first one for Nintendo.
God.
That
Oh,
game
God.
is the hardest game anyone's ever conceived, and I don't understand it. I do not understand.
It's just the cruelty behind the creation of that video game is something I'll never understand because it's like you're making this shit for kids.
yeah.
It's the Ninja Turtles. I mean, come on.
For
And it's the
babies.
You know what?
hardest fucking shit.
Check the back of that cartridge. I bet it says Silver Shamrock.
yes.
Well, no, the kids have to learn. They will be defeated. They will kneel to
That's
video
true.
games. They will not beat them all.
That is actually the moment I gave up on life.
That is right. The barriers were down, but you see, between Michelangelo and Raphael. Splinter might be looking mean.
There is a dumb as shit little sight gag that happens though. Like Sean Connery, they cut to him and he's like just made a fire on the side of the lake here, and you see Lambert like walk out all Jason Voorhees like and everything. And Sean, I don't remember what Sean Connery says was, "Oh, how was your dip?" or whatever.
Yeah.
And Lambert, dude, a fucking fish falls out of his kilt. Come on. That was pretty stupid.
I liked it.
Eric, you're a Highlander expert. I thought I understood Highlander powers, the do's and don'ts. What is with the stag all of a sudden? Like,
Oh,
it
yeah.
never comes up again. I never understand even what it is. Like,
It is.
it's like,
yeah.
feel the power of the stag. And he starts running even faster. And I'm like, but how? And then, like, does he need to be around livestock to be truly immortal? Like, I'm really confused.
I mean, I feel like this is obviously an idea that's kind of fallen by the wayside with sequels and TV shows. Well, I don't know about the TV show, but I guess the idea is like you can commune with the animal and
Mhm.
and,
Yeah.
and lock into their power, because I guess in the end of the movie when he finally wins the prize, which is taken away from him in multiple sequels, which sucks. But they say you could be one with like all living beings. So I guess like
Yes.
if you're next to an animal and you can just like tap into like, I don't know how great they run.
Yeah. Well, they like
It's ill-defined, but there's a fucking banger Queen song, so shut the fuck up.
yeah, it's a good one.
It is kind of ridiculous. And I didn't even look into it that much. I was like, oh, he's just having some fun on the beach. It's like
Yes.
the end of the training, and he's like, now for the most important lesson.
Now, MacLeod, yes, there can be only one, but you have to understand there will be other ones born, and they can technically take the title away from you. It's really complicated. You'll see in the sequels. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, also, we're aliens. By the way,
Yeah.
we're totally aliens.
Worst decision they could have made for that sequel. And then the third movie, they're just like, yeah, it's the third movie. Forget that second movie, though. Just pretend that the third movie is the second movie. You're following along?
Is there some other, because I don't remember from our episode on the second movie, but is there some like alternate cut out there that like fixes some of that, or not so much?
Yeah, there's something called the Renegade Cut.
Yes. And I don't really, I don't think I might have seen it once. I think that has some World War II stuff in it, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Or some kind of war scene. I don't really remember it too clearly, but yeah.
Oh, good. That's what I need. I need Connor MacLeod in Korea. What I was just fucking jonesing for.
I mean, the bummer of that's now we've done episodes on Highlander 2 and 3. If you're a new listener, you can find that in the feed or the archive or wherever they may be. Check out whmpodcast.com for that complete listing under WHM Prime. But yeah, I feel like that second sequel diminishes a lot by making them aliens from another planet that come down to Earth, and
it's too much in the stew. You don't have to add meatballs into your stew as well.
I love the idea that there's really, they never even try and get, it's like the X-Men rule. It's like, it's cooler if you don't know.
Exactly.
Certain people can do this, certain people can do that. I don't know where it comes from.
Yep. And then the third movie, it's just like, well, whatever. Now it's just Christopher Lambert is raising this kid, and he has to fight Mario Van Peebles.
I would prefer them to stop talking about like what the whole thing with the Highlanders is. I understood it the first time, and get more of the stuff like with Connery, like Shakiko. The love I always knew.
See, thank you. This is what I'm talking about. This prequel series, Ramirez, coming soon.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. Because this is where he drops that he's 2,000 years old. In 593 BC, he got the sword that he still has, and it was made for him in Japan. Is the idea? He's trying to explain to him, like, by the way, that Heather, pretty bonny lass, you have to throw that shit to the curb immediately.
Let her go, brother.
Oh man, she just brings you down, dude. She brings you down. You want to go to the pub with your pals? Guess who's gonna be giving you guff? Heather.
It's fucking true.
Here, I got you a book. It's called I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell. It's going to help you with your single life.
Oh, yes, that's right. Max Tucker, one of the immortals.
The immortal philosopher.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I think that that's the thing. Is he's like, oh, here's the bad news. You can't ever have kids. Hey, great, pretty cool. No condoms.
Yes, now I can spend the rest of eternity not wrapping it up.
Oh man, so he could probably he'll get STDs and it's not a big deal, but he'll spread them.
Yes.
Oh,
Is that how that would work? You think?
I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, he carries it, I think, is the idea.
Yeah.
He don't give a shit. Highlander don't care.
Oh yeah, I mean he's patient zero. He's like probably is still carrying around the Black Plague in like the 80s.
Yeah, this the lady Brenda that works at the police station, once they have sex, she just deteriorates into slime.
Yeah, it's like a Fulci movie. Everybody he fucks just melts.
Oops, well, you just had to have it. I'm so...
This summer, you'll never survive the melt fucker.
But yeah, so Ramirez tells this tale of he was married to this woman, Shakiko, says Sean Connery. Shakiko in some point in Japan, yada, 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 she got fucking old and died, and you're an immortal dude, and that's horrible to watch all your friends and acquaintances and loved ones die around you. So you, I guess, can be that more than anything should be like
Now, take this card, all this information about where you can find the rest of us Highlanders, because we're the only fucking friends you can have. And there should be this immortals community where they're just like going to the movies, catching a Nick game, maybe some sword fights.
Except for that Kurgan. What a motherfucker that guy is.
Buzzkill.
You know what? This might not make a lot of sense, but if he won the prize, the mortal world of men would descend into an eternity of darkness. Don't follow up on how any of that would happen.
Yep. Nope. No further questions at this Highlander press conference.
Especially since the sequels kind of retcon it that the prize is just mortality. But anyway, you could hear everyone's thoughts in the world at the end of this movie.
Oh, by the way, another thing I just happened to know: can't fight on sacred ground. Yep, I woke up and I had a dream where that happened, so I'm just going to I'm going to repeat it like it's fact.
It's tradition. None of us would break it.
I had a dream and I saw script changes in it.
So
I mean, this is one of those things where it's like, you know, couldn't we maybe, just maybe, have some sort of idea of sacred ground that's not just a fucking church? You know what I mean?
Like a graveyard.
These whatever. I mean, these beings are thousands of years old in some cases. Like, I don't know, just a fucking church? Come on, man.
Christianity's still like the new thing. It's like, I don't know, man.
Hold up, Highlander. He's walked into a blockbuster. That is sacred ground. He might be looking for a new release or an old favorite. We better go along.
Yeah, I believe that the sacred ground is close to where the airheads are.
You're talking about the Airheads candy.
Yes.
There we go. For a second, I thought the movie, and I was like, what were those guys doing? Are those guys Highlanders?
They might be.
You can get Airheads, you can get popcorn right there at Blockbuster.
That's right. You get the delicious buttery Act 2 popcorn.
Listen, Connor, every decade we decide what is the new holy ground, okay?
At the Highlander Council, we have every 100 years.
In the 1970s, it was a porno theater.
You have sullied this ground with TGI Fridays potato skin potato chips.
Yeah, in the 1990s, it was TGI Fridays. You couldn't fight in a TGI Fridays.
I really wanted the 1980s location of our sacred ground to be Burger King. I was vetoed by the Highlander Council.
I tried to take his little crown, and they said there could be only one Burger King. But I said, I am the Burger King.
In the early aughts, it was a pack sun. You couldn't fight inside of a Pacific Sunwear. But you could buy some great board shorts and a Hawaiian shirt to beat the band.
I think this poster looks pretty sharp.
I exclusively buy sunglasses at Pac Sun.
So
you don't forget that I've been dead for 500 years.
no.
Oh, whoops.
Yes, and I come back to life in the future, which is 2000 something in Highlander 2.
So he's Connor MacLeod's out somewhere. I guess he's getting like milk or something down the road, and good old Ramirez and his wife and MacLeod's wife are having a good, just a friend's dinner, and he's like, I was once banging this lady. How about this fun story? And she's like, fucking great. And she's like, when does Connor get back exactly?
Dude, they need some kind of line, because this whole shit goes down. Like, here comes the Kurgan, he comes calling, this whole shit happens. Was Connor MacLeod taking a shit? Where was this guy? It's like, you need some, because there's nothing, right? That scene starts with, it's the two of them, it's Heather and Ramirez, they're sitting at a table inside the tower just getting fucked up on wine, and he's like, he's like about to tell some kind of dirty story, but there needs to be some like, well, Connor should be back any minute, right? Or anything.
There could be like a thing where he's like, oh, I got to go back and defend the village, even though they cast me out. Like, he needs to maybe a scene that will help him cut his former life completely out.
Yeah, to prove that he's the better man or something. I would have loved it if Ramirez is sitting down. He's like, So yeah, I was standing outside the cave, and then yeah, he came out, sharp as a fiddle, came out, and he was resurrected. It's pretty amazing. I mean, I thought he was dead for good. I gotta be honest.
I said, Jesus, I really did the best to get ye killed.
Then I said, he's getting away. He's getting away.
I mean, we could always just do it again, kill him again.
I mean, Christ might have been a Highlander.
Exactly. They didn't cut his head off, dude.
Yeah.
Fatal mistake, man.
So Kurgan shows up and it's a cool fight scene. Yes, they're fighting in this weird tower that Connor lives in where the stairs literally go nowhere.
But it's because he's building his dream home. And I love the fact that like the Kurgan is so strong at this point. I mean, he's absorbed so many quickening souls or whatever. He's hitting the fucking wall of this shit and it's just coming down.
Dude, it is hilarious. And you're looking at all these like prop bricks just fall over on Sean Connery. I absolutely love it. And this right here is my favorite look of the Kurgan, because Clancy Brown in this sequence specifically looks like if Joey Ramone was in Gwar.
Yes.
Like that's how he's dressed here, and it's fucking awesome.
Both things rule.
Well, here's the thing that I don't understand about Highlanderism insofar as so Ramirez gets a good cut on the Kurgan, nearly takes his head off, but doesn't.
Yeah.
Ramirez should win this fight. He's got the advantage. This dude's bleeding from his fucking throat.
Yeah.
Yep.
B, why does it scar? If that's the case, shouldn't these guys be totally scarred forever, like all over the place, kind of a thing?
I guess.
Yeah,
It's a kind of. I mean, it looks cool, which I think is the answer. But I think you know what I mean. Like,
well, maybe because like the neck area, right? Like that's the only area that will do you in, right? As so like that area maybe can scar because like you could get your head chopped off. Like if you got your arm chopped off, you wouldn't die.
It's more sensitive. So like when a Highlander jacks off, they're just rubbing their throat. Like, oh yeah.
I mean, well, all these Highlanders were like getting the best swords, hidden in the deepest, darkest. I would be getting the best neck protector.
Yes.
That they've got a steel, perfect, like the best metal on earth to make a neck protector.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, that's the thing about this fight. So Ramirez and Kurgan are fighting, and like he gets Ramirez down on his knees on the staircase to nowhere.
Yeah.
And like he just beheads, and I'm like, if I'm a guy who could just survive anything, why am I just not rolling on the fucking floor?
Yeah, totally.
You know what? Here's the thought I had last night watching it. We in this whole sequence where Ramirez is training him and everything, this is where he talks about he's fucking 2,000 years old, ancient Egypt, all that shit. I think Ramirez is just kind of over it.
Absolutely.
And he's like, you know what, Kurgan? Yeah, dude. I mean, I could have totally kicked your weird ass, but like, I'm over it, man. I fucking saw the pyramids built.
He's
cut my head off,
trained
please.
someone. He feels like he's got a successor, and him cutting the Kurgan's like neck is him. This is like, well, he could have done it, or like they're equally matched. Like no shade to Ramirez, even though he died.
Shakiko, baby, I'm coming. Daddy's coming home, Shakiko.
I want to see him as a fucking little angel, like trying to fly into heaven. Shakiko. Shakiko.
I'm coming to get you, Shakiko, and your weird father.
Dude, these fucking immortals, they're not being allowed into heaven. Come on.
No,
they're plunging to hell.
Oh, hell people. Yeah, totally.
It's kind of a rad thing thinking about it, though, in that next scar, because it's like, Kurgan has gone around for centuries just murdering Highlanders left and right, murdering these immortals, murdering just regular people. There was the baby pit toss thing that we were talking about. Like, but like he doesn't remember any of those guys. It's like remembering a shit you took to him.
Oh,
but he will always remember Ramirez, the one who fucking scarred that neck, man.
Totally.
Ultimate victory for Ramirez here. He lives in infamy on Clancy Brown's neck, and he can finally be done with this planet.
Yeah.
Win-win for me, man. I get to be part of Clancy Brown and be dead. Sounds good to me.
The post Ramirez quickening is awesome too, because like it makes more of this tower fall down.
And it's implied right here, and we learned later that afterwards he takes advantage of or he assaults MacLeod's wife. That's,
Heather.
Heather and MacLeod comes back, and she's just like that. She doesn't say anything, and they kind of live the rest of their lives. She ages really well, and I guess like at the end when she's super old, she's like what 46, I guess is my guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, you take this young actress and you put a fucking white wig on her.
No, Connor, it's time for me to go. I'm going to die from good looks.
With all this age makeup on, she sort of looks like Bonnie Bedelia.
We get the great, I think around like we're watching her age and who wants to live forever?
Oh yeah,
dude, the fucking music. I mean, it brings it all together. And the fact that like the Queen music is like structured around the story, it just elevates that story.
Well, that's what I was saying at the beginning. Is like this story does have a very proggish feel to it.
Yeah,
you can imagine like a Canterbury scene type band doing a narrative like this, like a camel.
Hawkwind has an album about the Michael Moorcock character Elric.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a concept album specifically.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. I would totally buy that. And the cool fucking animated VHS bonus thing that came along when you bought the tape at fucking Strawberries. Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, the last track is a 10-minute jam called Shakiko.
Oh yes.
Shakiko, we're going to Shakiko. The bongo
drum. Around here we get back to the present day, and it's the fucking great Polito's eating those Doritos.
Yes,
love that stuff
because it's like the fucking last gasp of like anyone giving a shit about these police characters. Really,
yes, nobody could, because I mean it's obviously a window into her. What's her name? Brenda.
Yeah.
Because she's obviously like the love interest. She's got more to do and say. But yeah, you just see like Polito eating these Doritos next to this other detective, and it's like, okay, guys, sounds good. And they're like, I don't know. Sure are a lot of fucking beheadings lately in the Big Apple.
I feel like they unload all the like really gross shit onto, like, not only do they have the weird like, you wanted a blow job scene.
Yes.
They also have there's this really weird racist thing where they're like, oh, what are you, like a Vietnamese neighbor that ate your dog or something?
Oh,
like it's just some random fly off line. I'm like, why are these scenes here and why are these lines here?
By the way, at the start of this episode, I think I mentioned there was a burning cross in this movie, and it's at the Clan MacLeod, like when they're going to the initial fight, which I just don't even understand what that's about.
Well, I think in that case, it's not.
No, I know, but
maybe the Kurgan was the good guy. Let's just say that maybe the Murdochs and the Kurgan were on the right side of history.
I agree with that.
Those people are into what? Oh, get me my skull helmet.
I'm going to enjoy this quickening.
By the way, there's a flashback as well to the 1783. He meets Castigar at the Central Park Bridge, and it's like they talk about like drinking and this prior party where he called this like royalty guys, or I don't know, it's America, I guess that just means a rich guy now. He calls a rich guy's wife a fucking bloated warthog, so they have to duel, and he just keeps getting up after he keeps getting stabbed.
It's kind of hilarious in this like weird Barry Lyndon situation that he's gotten himself into, because like, yeah, this is him like blowing up his own spot. Because like he's giving away the secret of like, you can't kill me that easily.
And that's the only way you could even kill me was to cut my head. Oh shit! Did I do it again?
But this is what makes this movie good. I mean, there's many reasons, but I like that it's got a sense of humor, and it's like a guy that's been around this long. He's gonna have days where he's just drunk. Whatever. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, totally. And this is just when an immortal says fuck it. It's like, whatever. You can try to execute me in this duel. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up and start a brand new life so you can eat my dick.
Yeah. Why don't you try to shoot me, Barry Lyndon?
My life is like Groundhog Day, okay?
It's a movie that hasn't come out yet, maybe in a few hundred years.
Side of your eye. Side of your eye.
Yeah, I'm teaching this groundhog how to drive because I've lost it. Oh, yes, officer. Yeah, pancake breakfast, please.
Yeah. So, she comes over, or he goes over to her apartment at one point.
This is the date where he brings scotch, and he finds out that John Polito, in his last scene, is like doing a stakeout of her apartment, and he realizes she's part of the police, and it's like, that kind of doesn't matter either. Like, it's just sort of there.
None of it really matters. The only thing that was driving me crazy through this whole scene is, like, when he gets there, one, he kind of pulls a vampire thing, which is weird. He's like, well, should we have the whole meal in the hallway, or are you going to invite me in? And she's like, oh, sorry, and then she offers, she's like, oh, thank you for coming. Can I take your coat? And he goes, no, that's fine. I'll hold on to it. And then, like, 2 seconds later, this dude walks into the living room and just throws it over a chair. And I was like, dude, that's exactly what she was trying to prevent from fucking happening. Guaranteed there's a coat closet that she spent part of the afternoon clearing out so she could put your goddamn coat in it. And you're just tossing furniture, you pig.
I mean, I think it's rude enough to throw your coat there, but it's also, he's going through her things. He finds a tape recorder. He finds her gun.
He's got no problem.
I said, interesting view.
Oh, that's in response to a fucking cop that's downstairs.
Oh, and the running tape recorder, which was for some reason in your briefcase.
But then, like, is she trying to, like, is she trying to get the fucking drop on him with this recording, or what is the deal?
Because she's working with the cop. She is a cop. I guess she's like trying to figure that out, but also at the same time, she also kind of wants to fuck him. It's like kind of 50-50, and then she winds up going the fuck route.
Yeah, it's real. That's the real inner turmoil of her character.
Yeah,
should I fuck this guy?
They don't get down to fucking until a little later, though. This, like, date goes sideways because he's like, yeah, there's a fucking cop outside and you're recording me for some reason. And she gets pissed off because, like, he's like, I brought you a gift.
Oh, that's
and it's like her book that she wrote on, like, the history of metallurgy or whatever. And she gets furious with this guy.
Yeah, they call me Highlander, not Datelander. I'm not so good at the dating scene, guys.
That's a job for my cousin, actually named Datelander.
Dude, Datelander, better movie.
So what? Do you want to maybe go to a movie and I don't know, maybe a burger? I don't know how to do this. I really don't.
Welcome to Datelander. What we do here is it's kind of like that show The Bachelor, but it takes place over 1,000 years.
Oh, yes. Oh, Meredith aged out and died of old age. She did not get a rose.
Yeah, they have a matchmaker show and it's hosted by the Crypt Keeper.
Wait a second. The Krugen wants to interrupt my date and take her to a private area? I don't know about this. More after the commercials.
There can only be one Datelander.
Now we're back here on Datelander, and it's time for the final round. Everybody's favorite. It's the sword fight. Ladies, are you ready to see which Datelander you go home with?
Now it's time for the Datelander breakdown. Brought to you by Progressive.
So I got to second base with her. I got to second base with her. Third base with her. This is the breakdown you wanted, yes?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Kurgan. Thank you so much for coming by.
Brittany F shall be mine, Datelander. Not you can have Brittany B though, but Brittany F is mine.
Man,
I burn down the mansion, Datelander.
Man, what a cliffhanger to end this season of Datelander on.
I'm not coming back for a second season, Datelander. We're gonna finish this now.
But you have to. We have to date to the end. There could only be one Datelander.
Yes, and back up next, we're going to have Castigear's head here to talk about what happened.
Yeah, they just become, once they get their head removed, they become a broadcaster.
Yeah. A commentator.
Yeah.
Now, Castigear, you lost your sword fight to the Kurgan pretty easily in that alley. Were you just over it? Were you over the whole game?
Well, I had the boom boom juice right before I went into battle, but I think Kurgan did what was right.
Yeah, I'm not here to make friends, actually. And Castigear actually tried to throw me under the bus a little bit.
All right, so after today's round, Kurgan, I'm proud to say you have immunity next week.
Now, Ramirez, your head has been here many, many times. We've had you on many times. But what I need to ask you tonight, how do you think Connor MacLeod did fucking Brenda? How do you think he did there? Do you think he really took her to Pound Town or what?
Fine form, but not as good as me and Shakiko.
One thing I do admire about these Highlander pictures is there's always the sucking of a nipple.
Dude, what are we doing? We are licking tits in this movie, too. I couldn't believe it.
We are licking tits in the third movie as well. God bless.
It's the mid-'80s, and sex scenes needed to be disgusting.
It's also, well, I mean, we say bring sex back to movies a lot on this show.
Sure.
And this is what it is, guys.
That's a fair point.
This is the trifecta, though. This is like, are you a little boy? Want to watch a sword fight? Well, how about some licking tits?
Yeah.
Yep, totally. And this is, dude, and I'm so grateful that I never watched this as a kid, because with my fucking track record of me watching shit and my parents walking into the room, the second this fucking dude's tongue hits tit, my parents would have came right around the corner. It would have been what is this shit?
Yep. My parents would have come around the corner and said, why don't you step it up a notch?
I mean, like, I could see maybe bringing back erotica into movies would be nice. I mean, this is just two body doubles slathering on each other.
Exactly.
There is no fucking tongue double there for Christopher Lambert, man. That dude is pressing tongue.
Oh, really? You saw some Lambert tongue, huh?
Listen, I barely know English, but I do know how to do this.
Well, dude, it's the fucking love language.
Yes.
I mean, see, and that's the thing, right? Yes, of course. I think we got to be bringing sex back to movies, but there are ways to do it. And then there's Highlander, and it's grody. It's just and again, I don't know, man. It's a fucking live forever sword movie. Let's tone down the tit licking just a little bit, shall we?
It is weird though. Like now that we know, thanks to the deleted scene that's now in the movie, know that his assistant lady has been around him forever, and it's interesting for her to like age and then see like you're just bringing back like spring chickens here, and you're like sucking their tits in there.
Yeah, a little weird.
A touch.
I mean, I guess the question though is whether or not Connor MacLeod has had a sexual relationship with this woman who's working as his like assistant.
I don't think so. I guess they probably have more of a father-daughter relationship,
because he like saves her, as she's like a little girl. Although, there's nothing going on here, I don't think.
I thought that was like a red herring, because like, remember in the remake of Thomas Crown Affair when he's like with the model, and Rene Russo gets like, I'm sorry, Eric.
Right when you said the remake of the Thomas, you could have said anything and I would have said no.
Yeah, you've never seen a remake, I forgot.
I'm watching the Thomas Crown Affair. Is that what we're doing?
I've never seen the remake of the Thomas Crown Affair. I've also never seen the original Thomas.
Oh, really? They're both good. You should see both.
Okay,
but there's a similar thing where like there's like a younger lady and Rene Russo gets jealous because she thinks that's his girlfriend, but it's not. It's a adopted daughter.
Oh, I see. So anyway, the Kurgan, you see, and Castigear meet up at an alley. It's kind of an amazing like sequence where we're like watching New York at night, and you're like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
And then you're watching this weird vigilante guy.
Yes,
like,
we gotta talk about this.
Welcome to the second and a half act vigilante character. And he happens upon the Kurgan decapitating Castigear. That was a scene I could have enjoyed. But this vigilante guy comes out and goes after the Kurgan. Big mistake, dude. Big mistake.
Yeah.
You know what I thought this was? Were they kind of making fun of who are those fucking lunatics that go around the city with the little red berets on?
Guardian Angels.
Yeah, I kind of got a little Guardian Angel vibe, especially their leader who's always failing to run for mayor.
Can I say that the Guardian Angels and any other weird vigilante group like the Jewish one in Williamsburg or whatever, hey man, cool on you. Leave me alone. If you recognize me, I'm just going about my business, and I fully endorse to you.
Look,
your weird vigilante thing.
No, I say back off. Bring the mafia back. Enough of these vigilante organizations.
You're right.
I want the
right,
mafia.
Chris.
Just bring
You're
them
right,
fucking
Chris.
back.
I don't want to crack skull in the meantime. So if
Mafia, if you could fucking hurry up, that'd be appreciated.
I would like it.
But yeah, I do love Castigear's fucking very public quickening. I mean, this is hilarious. Like, this dude gets decapitated. Clancy Brown is taking this, energy in. He is screaming and yelling. And there are like 20 people on the New York sidewalk just watching whatever the shit is going down.
Also impaled that vigilante, which is great.
I feel like someone at the production company was like, hold on, we're in page 98. I have not seen a machine gun yet. We need to fix this immediately. We need a machine. It's an action movie and there's no machine guns? Wrong.
This is pretty great though, dude. Like this guy just giving it to Clancy Brown with this machine gun and fucking rocks. I think it is a bit of bullshit though that this guy isn't killed.
Yeah.
Because like he's impaled right through the gut. Clancy Brown lifts him up, still impaled, and then chucks this guy against a wall.
The only reason,
Come on.
I think the only reason he doesn't die is as a narrative thing, so the police get off of Russell Nash because they show him the photo in the hospital. Is this the guy?
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm the
I think that's the last appearance of the cops is that moment.
If I'm the Kurgan and I impale this guy and he's fine afterwards, I'm thinking he's a Highlander. And I forgot that I have to fucking take his head off too now.
You might as well take heads off as a principle.
Yes, please.
Just in case you run across a fucking immortal. Yeah, that's a good idea.
You never know who's immortal.
Well, I guess you do with whatever happens to your pubes when you see when you know an immortal is in the area. You get that pube tingle or whatever.
Yes, dude. Yeah, like when you go over like those little soft bumps on a road when you're in a car,
Yes.
and you get that little like
electricity in the air. Pubes.
I mean, it should have been a thing where they could smell each other, right? That would be kind of funny. Clancy Brown just walking around a crowded marketplace like sniffing.
Yeah, just sniffing all these crotches and shit.
He's got a good nose for it.
So after the tit licking and the sex scene goes down, you do what any sort of post hookup with an immortal being kind of night would do, follow up with just a quick trip to the Central Park Zoo.
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
dude, he's making faces at this lion. It's kind of hilarious. I think the lion knows what's going on.
And the Kurgan is in the background apparently, like he's been stalking them, and now he knows.
Pretty cool shot here. Yeah,
he's a little Michael Myers-y. We should talk a little bit about the church scene, which goes on forever.
Yeah.
But
it goes on forever and does really absolutely
it does nothing. But I mean, the Kurgan reveals this new horrible haircut.
Oh man,
dude, I don't know what the fuck this was. I think it was a thing where like Clancy Brown came to set one day and was like, "All right, you're gonna kill me. I cut off my huge ponytail by accident last night." And then they were like, "All right, well now we got to give you a dumb haircut." I guess
he says I'm in disguise so nobody recognizes me, because I guess he cares about the heat that's being brought down from this vigilante IDing him.
Look, you don't want to get arrested if you're a fucking immortal, dude. That's the hell, dude. That's how a Twilight Zone ends.
You're right. Actually, when a judge sentences you to like 24 consecutive life sentences, it only really applies against someone like this.
Look, Russ, I know what you're thinking is it's a terrible look for the end of the movie, but I thought I was going to be on SNL and I thought I was going to do the Conehead sketch, okay? They're going to bring it back and they were going to try to do a revival of it, and I thought I was going to be perfect as Beldar too.
Well, it's
with your host, the Kurgan.
Thank you all. Thanks to Jethro Tull. Yes, ironic that they're here.
Of course, there is no audience because I rule over the land and everybody's dead. But it's good to see everybody here.
It is kind of amazing. Well, he apparently it's a big fat bald cap, and not a good one either.
No.
And apparently he almost couldn't take the role because he was allergic to the glue and so on and so forth. It's like, then don't do it. He looks awesome.
Well,
like
Seriously.
Yeah, that's true. They could have just gotten rid of. They could have just kept with the long hair here. It's a fun scene, but at the same time, it's like I read stuff online about the original script, and he was supposed to be more of a character who's like sympathetic in a way, who he just wants to get it over with, and he dresses nice. And Clancy Brown apparently wanted this character in the modern era to be dressed in a suit and a bowler hat, to be more, I guess, sophisticated. But apparently, I mean, Schwarzenegger apparently was reached out to for this role, and I guess maybe we're just doing Terminator here. He's an unstoppable killer. He should be in black leather and intimidating.
I'm glad Arnold said no then. That would be terrible. Also, then it's a fucking Arnold movie. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It would just be an Arnold movie. It wouldn't.
Well, this is like what, 86? This is only 2 years after the Terminator movie.
Yeah. So like he was still not like a humongous star, but it would be it would still ape his filmography too much.
Still, yeah, like you have to turn the movie into. The movie is now called The Kurgan. Highlander is the villain. The Kurgan is the good guy.
Kurgan the Destroyer.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, maybe you could change the title of the movie and just call it The Kurganator.
Okay, Kurgan the Destroyer. Okay, no, that's not going to work. He's going to hate me. Kurgan the Annihilator. That'll do.
I could use Arnold like flicking his tongue at some nuns saying, "Happy Halloween, ladies."
The joke there was I was threatening some nuns by licking them.
Well, that is the thing about Clancy Brown, is he's not doing monosyllabic like "I am Kurgan kill." No, he's like really like he's pretty like hyper and weird, especially in this scene. And the scene we should for a second when he's riding that old lady to hell. That's a lot of fun.
Yes, when he steals the old people's car after he thinks he kills the vigilante. I mean, big strength to the movie to me, like I said earlier, is the sense of humor that not only Connor MacLeod has, but fucking this dude has. It's just like, we've lived forever. Who gives a shit? These are just meat puppets. Let's have a laugh.
I will say, if I'm the Kurgan though, and we've talked about it, you know, Isadora Duncan and all those other greats. Fucking car accidents are really your head could come off, dude. So be careful. Just be careful out there.
Oh yeah, like James Mansfield.
Buckle up, Kurgan, because you don't want to and do the limit. You know.
Yeah, like what happened on the set of my favorite movie, The Twilight Zone, the movie.
Yes. You think Vic Morrow is a Highlander?
Got a couple of quickenings that night, brother. They blamed the whole thing on Landis. It was great.
Yeah, Landis is in his office afterwards. The quickening worked. I grow stronger every day.
Now just to film a quick scene with Dan Aykroyd in an ambulance and to get out of here.
Man, I hate the end of that movie, especially. That is fucking stupid.
The framing device. I actually kind of like that framing device.
It never worked for me. I don't know why. Just him in that monster makeup at the end, especially, is so stupid. I do love another bit of Kurgan's sense of humor right here. He kidnaps Brenda and he's driving around like a maniac. They're going over the 59th Street Bridge. He just, while laughing maniacally, totally knocks this dude off a motorcycle.
Yeah. And he starts plowing people too. And like, it's this really cool stylized, like they have like purple light to them for some reason.
It looks awesome.
This is probably my favorite sequence of the whole movie, because he also is singing New York, New York, like the intelligent gremlin from Gremlins 2. He's like, New York, New York.
And
it's fucking bone chilling.
And there's a Queen cover of New York, New York, which apparently is not available anywhere else. It's it was never released. It's just if you hear it
in the movie.
Yeah, it's just you hear Queen do New York, New York underneath it.
That was a question I had just in general about the music, because like I'm not a Queen fan. If Queen is on at a bar or a karaoke joint, that's great, but whatever. Although I do have a Night at the Opera on vinyl. Anyway, were the songs in this movie like original for this movie, or can you find them elsewhere? Oh, really?
Yeah. I believe so.
Oh,
and
okay.
they reached out to multiple groups. There's even talk about like Bowie or someone working on this. A bunch of people passed, and some of these more minor bands than Queen are really regretting it now. But I believe these were for the movie because they're very specific to this.
I mean, I guess that's true.
And it inspired. I was reading about it. They came up with an album that wasn't the soundtrack. It is called "A Little Bit of Magic," which is the line he says in the Nazi scene.
Right.
They were just like they were supposed to do one song and they got inspired by the movie because Queen was insane, and we're just like they decided to make a whole album of this stuff, and they have like not a whole album, but a lot of songs on that album are directly inspired by Highlander music.
Yeah, I bet there's a bunch on like greatest hits shit.
Yes,
right. I mean, it's just so funny because now I can think of nothing besides Freddie Mercury and Brian May and all those dudes like just really digging Highlander.
Yes,
just like talking about Highlander a lot.
Well,
it's kind of great.
It's a great movie. By the way, that song "One Vision" is one of my favorites off this.
I mean, I imagine Freddie Mercury saw all these like different like it was a very complex narrative to him to play with as a musician. But Brian May was like, "Oh, you say a bloke could live forever, hey? Oh, I like that. I like that. He get to shag the ladies too the whole time. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that quite a lot. Bit. Yeah, let's make a music."
So the Kurgan, it's our big finale here at Silver Cup Studios, which is kind of hilarious and awesome.
I love it, man. Just such a random fucking thing to have happen.
But it is such a big piece of the New York City skyline at a certain point. Like that Silver Cup sign is huge and bright, and it's cool to just sort of watch people fight on top of it.
It's also just rad that there's a climax of a cool movie in Long Island City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great. The fucking Silver Cup Studios, which one time, share a little story. I was walking down the street, no one else there. Me and my wife were walking down the street, and Michael J. Fox was smoking a cigarette off a stage door of Silver Cup.
Oh, sick.
And I was like, he doesn't want to be bothered. Let's never talk to him. And that was
good idea.
That's it. Because you know what? Let that dude enjoy that cigarette.
Absolutely.
Yep.
He's just trying to get through an episode of The Good Wife. You leave him alone.
Yeah, that's exactly right, dude. He don't care how much you love Back to the Future.
But
whatever,
dude, man, I was like, what? I stopped in my tracks, and then I was like, don't be an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, good on you, man. I mean, honestly, I'd fucking mess myself if I saw Michael J. Fox in person.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to talk to him. Christopher Lloyd either. I wouldn't be able to say a fucking word to him. But I would shit my pants in front of them.
Mm-hmm. That's sort of what I did.
Near presence.
I walked away with the turd running down the trousers.
You weren't like a little. You didn't want to maybe try to behead him to see if a quickening started.
Yeah, I should have done that. Yeah, I mean, I was there at the location of the quickening.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's not a Highlander.
He's a being of high power. I mean, come on.
I understand the 80s. And actually, it's kind of a pretty cool casting. If Michael J. Fox was Connor MacLeod, like him versus Clancy Brown would be a striking fight. Like, you know what I mean? It would be hard to believe that he would win. Yeah. But, you know, like if Clancy was like, how are you beating me? And you're like, whoa, shit, this dude's really good at fighting.
This is like David versus Goliath, who are also Highlanders, by the way. Hi, how you doing?
But he'd have to be like jumping off crates the whole time.
Wait, you're telling me that I could live forever unless someone cuts my head off?
Holy shit.
I mean, yeah, the Kurgan would like crumple him up like paper into a wastebasket.
Marty, I fell down, hit my head on the toilet, woke up and realized we're immortals.
He rips open Doc's vest at the end of the jacket at the end of the movie, and he's just like, I'm actually a Highlander, Marty. No bulletproof vest.
We're going to do a time experiment on Einstein here. Cut his head off and see if it stays.
Marty, we're born to be kings. The masters of the universe.
And this has become of me, champion of the world.
Oh, man. So, I mean, whatever. We have this big fucking fight. It's awesome. The whole Silver Cup Studios sign falls down, which is pretty rad.
It's awesome. I love a 2-location fight, obviously. We're fighting on top of Silver Cup Studios. We fall through a skylight. Now we're in this really cool warehouse, which I'm sure was in London or God knows where. Nowhere near where we're supposed to be. But
It
And it's
might
a really-
actually be Silver
Yeah.
Cup without without like the Cosby Show set or whatever it was at
Right.
the time.
the purple light is just really cool here. Super.
Mhm. Oh, and Brenda's tied to the signage, and she's like hanging off the building once the Kurgan starts cutting down these the letters of the signage here. And
Yeah.
that's well, by the way, once he starts nailing into that sign is when MacLeod is like, hey, that's a cultural landmark. Stop it. And that's when I will join the fight. Once you start, I don't care that you've taken my girl that I met the other day.
You can't damage this. Someday a fashion boutique might be here.
Hey, where is 30 Rock gonna shoot if you destroy this sign? Hey.
I'm looking through the filming locations here. I'm not seeing anything for where they filmed that, but how about this though? The Continental Airlines Arena was what doubled as Madison Square Garden actually for the wrestling scenes. Apparently, you can see old New Jersey Nets banners in the rafters.
That makes all
Pretty
the sense
great.
in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no idea where the fight was there. They say that his antique shop is on 71 Green Street in Soho, which is cool. I also love that he lives in Soho in like 1986.
Oh, by the way, that apartment he has with like
yeah,
the staircase, the double decker, the little balconies, you would have to, at least nowadays, live for 500 something years working tirelessly.
Oh yeah, and
to
he's still
afford that.
and he's still barely making rent.
Yeah.
At this point, thousands of years at it, and he still just can't get it over the line.
Listen, Kurgan, I'm up to my neck here. Unintended. With my bills. I need to just move some merchandise. We could get back to the fight. How about October? I'll call you in October.
Rachel, I would love to give you a raise, but honestly, we're taking a bath. No one is buying our merch.
Okay, I'm going to have to sell half of Scotland, which I own somehow.
Rachel, this is a privilege that only us immortals can do. I'm sorry, but you're out of a job because Russell Nash dies tonight.
That is an interesting detail. He gives her like power of attorney, like check in the desk. There's all the information. You're going to get all this money because Russell
Right.
Nash ain't coming back one way or another tonight.
Yeah, it's a weird bit of like detail that like you don't really need unearthed, but Brenda unearths it anyway when she discovers that like what he's been doing is like when he starts like kind of aging out of whatever life he's in, he fakes his own death and then leaves all his money to a fucking like dead person.
Yeah.
And then he assumes the dead person's identity and just gets all his money back. And it's like, because I think we were talking about this on the Highlander 2 episode of like just how it is that he, gets all this wealth, living forever. And like this movie is literally like this woman doing research into like fucking birth certificates and shit. It's so much that's not needed in this movie at all, but that's how he does it.
Rachel, here's all the paperwork. It's a nice bonus for you. Because guess what? Either I'm getting my head cut off or I'm just out of here anyway. The city's kind of dead, honestly.
I'm so over New York right now.
What you were mentioning, Andrew, there was a brief scene with this this computer guy with the police that like puts it all together with the signatures.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing where like his name of what is it, John Nash?
Russell
Nash.
Russell
Nash. It's like he's pulled letters from all of his various aliases and made this new name. Very, very weird serial killer shit.
I think they were
here.
just checking, like, if you see how he does the
Yes,
L
his
here,
S
it
here.
Oh, is
matches
that?
to the
Oh, okay.
hand.
It's a handwriting
Yeah,
sample. Okay,
yeah.
that makes much more sense.
It'd be cool if he the Zodiac cipher. I got into some weird shit in the 60s, man.
Yeah, dude, I bet Immortal was the fucking Zodiac, and he just got bored with it and moved on.
I bet you, man. I bet you. And he's still around. We know
Yep.
you're out there.
So he's
Senator from Texas now.
he's about to get his head cut off, but Brenda distracts the Kurgan, and that gives him like and much like a wrestling thing. Now I'm hearing it from the crowd. I'm getting the upper hand now.
When she like butts into this fight with that pipe and hits him in the back, and he's like, "Ha, what kept you?"
Yes,
It's a little much, but I like it.
This was where I wrote enough with the Lambert one-liners.
Yes.
That was the one that made me do it,
What
man.
kept you? We're in a fun movie.
and then he kind of just cuts the Kurgan's head off. It's not like it's really cool, obviously, and especially the quickening.
Yeah.
But it's not like a very specific, like, he needs to defeat him in a certain way kind of a thing. He's just like, yeah, my girlfriend distracted you. Now your fucking head's coming off, dude.
Which I appreciate, because I
Yes.
feel like
Yeah.
a sword fight is like fucking one and done. Look at those. Look at Yojimbo or something.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's what's actually kind of rad about it is how sort of anticlimactic it is. Although I will say what is totally badass about the Kurgan, man, is after this decapitation and like the quickening
Yes.
has started, like he's starting to fucking light up like a Christmas tree already. This dead body is still swinging this sword.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fucking cool.
And now, like, this is supposed to be the fucking prize. Like, this is the end of the thing. I guess the gathering was in New York. Everyone is dead.
Yeah.
And we get like fucking ghosties and demons cartoons in the quickening that we have not seen before.
A lot of quickening cartoons. That was truly something.
It was wild.
He goes, oh no, I've actually went back into cool world. Here comes all these doodles to get me.
Oh shit, I found myself stuck in a Betty Boop Halloween special.
Now I am going to be licking Betty Boop's tits.
Gabriel Byrne, you cannot have sex with Betty Boop or she will become real.
Only I can have sex with cartoons. I am the chosen one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Decapitate a couple hundred people, Gabriel Byrne. Then we'll talk.
I am the Datelander. Only I can fuck cartoons.
Dude, yes, that is the power of Datelander. You get to fuck cartoons. It's really cool.
All
Computer
right,
programs.
Datelander. For the final round here, Datelander, you got yourself Betty Boop, the girl mouse from Chippendale Rescue Rangers, and
God.
Lois Griffin.
Oh my, that cartoon mouse.
Or
Sorry, don't be mad at me, Monterey Jack.
Monterey Jack is crying in the corner.
When I fuck his girlfriend.
why did it have to
My
happen?
penis, it transcends time and space.
Oh, so yeah, what is this? He takes her to Scotland.
Yeah, we don't know what these demons are or whatever. It seems like the prize isn't exactly a good thing necessarily, but okay, sure, whatever.
We get this weird, like, I guess, voiceover that is partially from Sean Connery here about like,
Oh yes.
Like, patience, Highlander. You've done well. You know everything in the world.
oh no, I guess this part, I think Lambert has this line.
I know everything there is. I know what everyone is thinking, and I could help them understand each other.
And then like
Yeah.
and then Brenda's like, so you can tell what I'm thinking. He's like, yeah, you're thinking like, hey, this guy might not be so into me, but don't worry, I am. And she's like, oh fuck, you're thinking, hey, I remember my old boyfriend, Todd. Stop thinking about Todd.
You know, Todd is a son of a bitch. I just have to say it, Brenda. I just have to say it.
Oh, it's just what every woman wants, a boyfriend who knows everything. That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah? Well, can Todd love, have children, live, and grow old? Because I can now.
I mean, Brenda, I mean, I've actually read every book. Has anybody else read every book?
Yes. In Zardoz, I read every book in the library. Patience, Highlander, you'll get there.
The crossover of the century.
Definitely.
Brenda, you're thinking, you're like, this shirt I'm wearing sucks. But this morning when I asked, you said it looked good. Which is it, Brenda?
See, Brenda, what you didn't anticipate happening was this morning I had not yet won the gathering. Now that the prize is mine, you can't lie to me about my shirts anymore.
Listen, I think the idea was that God would Allow me to heal the world, but instead I'm going to use this for petty fights.
I think the other thing too is that the movie definitely confirms, and I don't remember what the sequels do, but they do say that he's mortal too. It's like you know all the thoughts of everyone, and you're also immortal now.
Well, immortal.
And you can have kids.
A mortal, not
yes.
immortal. You are a mortal.
Yes. And you, that's it. That's it, everyone. That's what it should have been.
You know, if I was, if I'm, Connor MacLeod, I'm like, actually, I kind of liked being immortal and I liked having Highlander buddies. The prize sucks. Also, wait,
totally.
I can have kids now? Wrong.
Wait, I have to wrap it up again? It's been centuries.
I have to support these little rugrats.
It turns out my penis had so many STDs, I couldn't have children if I wanted to.
And I'm so sick of walking around knowing everyone's thoughts. Everyone's like, what accent is that? What accent is that? Shut up.
It's clearly Scottish, stupid.
Oh,
Everyone in
man.
Scotland used to talk like this.
Well, that's the end of Highlander. Great movie. Let's go around the horn here. Final thoughts and recommendations, Steve Sadak?
Yeah, pretty strong recommend here. Really fun movie. Again, this is only my second time through. I think I liked it better the second time knowing what it was, that it was just sort of a fun, cheesy action movie as opposed to like a great movie. Like, Terminator's a great movie. This is not Terminator. This is like a fun, cool movie.
It's better than Terminator.
yeah, you're right. Knowing its limitations and loving it warts and all, it's a lot easier and fun for me. It's a high recommend. Also, big with Eric, one and done would be great.
Yeah, totally. Chris Cabin.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely recommend. I do think it's a little long. I think you could have gotten rid of a lot of the cop storyline, and this might have flown a little better. And I would have liked see a little bit more, like everybody's been saying, like a little bit more with the Highlander world and what all the different Highlanders are. But yeah, it's I've seen this again, like I've said, probably about at least 5-6 times at this point, and yeah, it's still fun.
Eric Siska, Highlander expert.
Still fun after probably 200 times. Great movie. Check it out.
Still fun after probably 200 times.
And, one and done, I think would have been great, but the cat's out of the bag. So let's get that prequel Ramirez series. Let's do a bunch. Let's blow out this concept and have fun with it and see where it goes. I'm a big Highlander fan, for better or worse. And this is obviously the best entry in the franchise.
Totally. I don't think I'm going to say anything different here. I mean, it is interesting, Steve. I think you're totally right. Once you know what this movie is, and then you watch it again, you're like, oh, you are able to appreciate it more. There is, at least for me, and like, because especially me with like fucking. When we start hitting up against that wall with fantasy, I can really take it or leave it sometimes. But this all plays really nicely for me. And now I'm excited to start off a real Lambert kick. See what else is in this guy's filmography, man.
Oh, man.
So we'll see. I have 20 minutes left of this Russell Mulcahy movie from 1999 called Resurrection, which speaking of Jesus himself, it is a fucking total Seven ripoff where like we're just taking, instead of the 7 deadly sins, it's just like Bible verse shit. It's wild, man, this movie. Fincher has a case, I have to say. But that is Highlander, ladies and gentlemen, from 1986, directed by Russell Mulcahy. If you want more We Hate Movies, including some past Highlander-related episodes, go over to our website, whmpodcast.com. Sift through that long-ass episode list. They are there. They are available. The journey with Highlander does not stop with this episode. And the journey with We Hate Movies does not stop on the Prime feed. Patreon.com/We Hate Movies. April's a big month. We're debuting Once in a Lifetime, our new Patreon show where we're going through some fucking Lifetime movies, everybody. And what's the first one out of the gate, Steve?
Stalked by My Doctor with Eric Roberts. It's awesome. I'm excited about it. We haven't recorded it yet. We're recording it soon, and it's going to be out even sooner for you folks. I'm really excited for this one.
Yes, it's
absolutely
going to be a lot
gonna
of
be great.
fun.
We also have the We Love Movies episode on Goldfinger this month. Of course, this is, even though this is a very Lambert heavy episode, we knew that going into it. This is still Sean Gone month. So Goldfinger is on We Love Movies. What the hell else we got going on? Who's that fucking goat fucker on the Gleep Glossary?
Yes, Re-Yees on the Gleep Glossary. Someone pointed out, I think on the Patreon comment section, that we've neglected to mention that his name is a cheap version of Three Eyes. They just took some letters out and moved them around. So it's even lazier than we realized, but we're going through all these random Star Wars characters on that Gleep Glossary program. It's a lot of fun.
I fucking schooled you again, assholes. It's just Three Eyes. Get it?
Oh, okay, we're going to have a new character. He's a fat guy. I'll call him we
also on AD are doing that awful Mighty Ducks cartoon.
Yeah,
they're kind of like Ninja Turtles, but it's even stupider.
Oh, it's
Speaking of aliens for no reason, by the way.
We've got Melrose 210. We're continuing our adventures into Beverly Hills 90210 and Melrose Place.
Yeah, so much stuff going on. And the Nexus season 3 of fucking Next Generation starts. Pulaski's gone.
That's right.
Gate McFadden returns.
And I want to
pretty excited.
We never really get to mention it on episodes that much, but youtube.com/WeHateMovies. We're putting up some old episodes, but we also have got these live mailbags and other events we've done. The green rooms where we're just hanging out doing Q&As mostly. There's a live VHS trailer game on there. You could see us in the flesh doing it. It's a lot of fun. Also, we never even mentioned our TeePublic store. Go to WHMpodcast.com, hit merch, and check out some t-shirts if you want.
Yeah, we were talking about her a lot this evening. There is an Order of Boop t-shirt on there. Make all your friends jealous with an Order of Boop t-shirt.
If you wear that t-shirt, everyone will think that you suck her tit.
Dude, you know what? I'm calling out there. Whoever's listening now, which is now not many, because it's long. Give me a Datelander t-shirt. Maybe just a shirt that says Datelander on it. I'd be like a cool font for Datelander. Let's figure that out.
Yeah, like what the logo would be in like the 1970s when the game show aired on ABC, right? And of course, here on the main feed, the fun does not stop. Next Tuesday, there's a brand new episode. Steve, Sean Gone month is continuing here on the program. And what stinker are we talking about then?
It's concluding with the only way it could conclude. The Avengers. No, the other one.
The one you've never heard of.
You know, I've tried to watch this movie 3 times, and every single time, including like when I rented this on VHS, like in the 90s, maybe it was a DVD rental, I have fallen the fuck asleep after like 30 minutes. I've never made it through.
I think I'm in the exact same boat.
I've seen it, 100 times.
I've actually never seen it all the way through. I think similarly, I might have greened out to it once, possibly.
But I've got a weather machine.
Yes.
How about that? How about that? Is that a movie? Are we done? Is that $1 million?
Well, that's $1 million now. I said weather machine.
Oh, fuck. So until next week with 1998's The Avengers, I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy.
That was a HeadGum podcast.